would have an amazing time today. I'll be giving a brief introduction before we get started. And of course, we are expecting a lot more people to join us. Hopefully, before we dive into the main meat of our session today, we'll have them join this session. Okay, so I'll just quickly do a brief introduction. Of course, we are here to discuss the plans for 2023. A lot of you had plans for this year. Some of you executed, you accomplished all the goals you had set out to accomplish. But what is in stock for the future? Okay, for some of you who wanted to get into tech this year, you needed to get that remote job. You wanted to transition from your current role to a tech-related role, be it data science, data analytics, business analysis, and so on and so forth. But you're not able to achieve that. How can you get that done? How can you still achieve that goal? So we are here to discuss what we have in plans and how we can also help you walk that path with you, hold your hands, and help you transition. So for those of you joining us masterclass for the first time, I'll quickly do a brief introduction about Tenalytics, who we are, what we stand for, what we are all about, and then we go into the main meat of the session. I'll hand that over to Efe, but before that, I'll quickly do a brief introduction about us. Ubong, if you could allow me to share my screen so that I can present my slide. Thank you.
Go on, you can go on, sir. You can go on.
All right. Okay, so just confirm you can see my screen, Ubong.
Seen.
All right, great. So that's myself there. Myself and Adeza Suleiman and Efemena Ipro. Both of us, we founded Tenalytics, and over the years, we've been helping people transition into tech, especially in the areas of data analytics, data science, business analysis, financial analytics, HR analysis, and so on and so forth. I'm a professional data analyst, and Efemena himself will introduce himself to tell you a bit more about himself. He's a global business system analyst with one of the largest medical technology companies in the world. Now, for us, the main goal for us starting Tenalytics and what we've done over the years is to help the Black community, to help Africans transition and gain the required skill they need to transition from where they are to wherever they want to be in tech. So we help to lower the barrier of entry and also equipping you with the right skills that you need to get into tech. For us, we pride ourselves with the quality of the facilitators we have, professionals who do this on a day-to-day basis. And over the years, we've had tremendous achievements, which I'll be sharing with you in the next couple of slides. Our facilitators come from the best and the most diverse organizations across the globe, from Microsoft to McKinsey, DPD, PwC, Deloitte, the Big Fours, and so on and so forth. And our courses are structured in a way that they are 100% practical. And there's something we talk about here at Tenalytics, which is called experiential learning, where you are learning and at the same time you are implementing all the things you learn. And with that, it's very easy for all the things you learn in class to stick. For 2022, looking at all the things we've been able to do, we're able to train over 22,000 people across different regions across the globe. We had participants joining us all the way from Asia, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Sweden, France, the UK, Europe, Africa, different countries in Africa, and of course from Nigeria, West Africa, and so on and so forth. The 22,000 people we trained this year, over 300 of them, we helped them to transition from the classroom into the workplace, because that's always the focus, okay? So you learn all the amazing stuff you need to learn in class, all the technical skills you need to learn, but how do you then transfer those skills into the workplace? And that was our focus this year. And we helped over 300 people transition from the classroom to getting their first job in tech across the UK, the US, Canada, Europe, the Middle East, Asia, and so on and so forth. And of course, you had a lot of people migrating from Africa to Europe, from Africa to the US, to the UK, to Canada, and different other countries. But what sets you apart? What gives you that competitive edge to ensure that you're able to transition easily? Having the required skills to position yourself for opportunities that exist within that space. And that was our focus. And we've been able to help over 300 people this year to transition. Some of them are here on the call. And of course, they'll share their experience with you as well and tell you firsthand how they were able to learn in the class for about 2 months, executed and completed their virtual internship for another 1 month, and taking all the skills, putting them together, packaging them, and eventually applying for that job and getting the job, which is, of course, I would say, super amazing. Now, in addition to this, the question is, anybody would ask is, how easy is it to transition? Okay, because I learn on YouTube, I learn on this platform, I learn here, I learn there, and so many places. But I've been struggling. You know, it's not really easy for me to put everything together, and I really don't know how to get started. These are questions we always get, okay? And that is why, for us, our programs are structured in a way that the transition from the classroom into the workplace is seamless. You have a structured learning program. After your learning, you know the next step. You move into the capstone project. From the capstone project, you have your virtual internship. And then in between, you have specially designed sessions to position you for success. Because I'll tell you for free and take it to the bank, the technical skills you have are just not enough to land you that job. Okay, so what sets you apart from every other person competing for that same role? And that's also the focus for us. Number one, we ensure that you have your CV reviewed, because that's the first thing the recruiter, the organization would see about you. Okay, so how do you structure your CV in a way that it adequately captures your skills, the skills you want to sell, how you want to sell yourself? That's number one. We help you do that. And of course, LinkedIn is also one of the amazing tools that puts you out there, showcases your skills, showcases what you've been able to do over time. We help you optimize your LinkedIn profile as well. And then when you eventually start to apply to jobs, you get called for, interviews and so on. You have interview opportunities. Organizations would want to know, right? Do you have somebody that can recommend you? Do you have somebody that can stand as a referee for you, and so on and so forth? We also ensure that we play our role in that part, giving you reference letters, and also ensuring that you get the best recommendation possible to present to that organization. And number four, now you could learn all the technical skills, like we said, but based on where you are, how do you navigate the job market? So if you're in Canada, for example, or you're in the UK, you've always been in Nigeria, but then you move to the UK. Do you know the UK market? Do you know what is required? Do you know how to apply to jobs? These are some of the things we also ensure that we put in place for you, apart from the technical training you go through, how to navigate the job market. And last but not the least is the weekly mentorship. Okay, so there's a group mentorship session. And I would say this is almost, I dare say that this is the best out of all the 5. And this is simply because you're walking a path that other people have walked before, all right? So you have somebody like Efemena, for example, you have somebody like Francis, people that have gone through that stage. They have applied to jobs. They know how the process goes. They know what you need to do when you get into that interview. You have that weekly session. Every Wednesday evening, you're on a call with professionals, the top professionals across the industry. You have the opportunity to ask them your questions, and they help you navigate certain difficulties you might be facing when you apply to jobs, when you get interviews, and so on. And in addition to this, when you get interviews, we also don't leave you hanging. We help you prepare for that interview. So there's an interview preparation session where we hold your hands, tell you what you need to do, the kind of questions you need to look out for when you get into that interview. All right. Now, taking all of this, in addition to the technical skills you learn in the class, this is what sets Tenalytics apart. And this is what makes us different from any other organization you'd find out there. And this is why we have been successful helping over 300 people transition, because we quickly realized that the technical skill is just not enough. Okay, so one thing that stands us out, that sets us apart from every other organization out there, is we know the recipe to add to your technical skills to set you apart wherever you find yourself. Okay, and we have done phenomenal, amazing work helping the Black community, helping Africans, ensure that when you get into that big organization, you get into Microsoft, you get into Amazon, you get into the NHS, you get into Revolut, you get into top organizations across the globe, you find Africans, you find Nigerians, you find Ghanaians, and so many Black, people from the Black community represented in those organizations. And that's what we stand for. During the course of the session, Efemena would also add to all the things I've said so far. And if you have questions, please feel free. We want it to be as interactive as possible. So send your questions in. We'll be very happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much. Ife. If you are muted.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
All right, yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Thanks a lot for that. I'm sure everybody has learned a thing or two from that. So I think I'll just go straight into, so Adesa has covered majority of the things I'll be talking about. But anyways, the essence of why we're here today is also to talk about the tech career outlook for 2023, okay? This has done an introduction in terms of what I do. Currently, also, I lead business data support with the post office here in the UK. So it's kind of a work also I do on the side. So I'll be talking to you today about the tech career outlook. So regardless of anywhere you are in the world, if you're in Nigeria, you're in Africa, you are in Europe, you are in France, you're in Germany, you are in the UK, you are in Canada, the US, or anywhere in the world, this applies to you. Okay, because we have taken our time to look at the things that would take effect from next year that will be high in demand, also, and certain criteria that we'll be talking about. Okay, so I think I'll just share my screen, so I'll just jump straight into it. Okay, just go straight into it. All right, so now we're going to be talking about the tech career outlook for 2023. We're looking at the tech career outlook for 2023. You're looking to get started in data analytics, in data science, in whatever the case may be. All right, you absolutely don't even know what to do. Okay, you're looking at, I want to transition into tech. I want to get a tech job. I want to, this tech idea itself, what is it all about? All right, and you're still very confused. This is the session for you. That's why we designed this particular session, to discuss what career out there is made for you. All right, and we've brought experts, people that have been in your shoes in the past, okay, and they've eventually transitioned into the tech career. And that's what we'll be talking about today. So we have them to speak with you, and we're also going to be having a Q&A session where you can actually ask your questions, all right, your concerns. What are those things that are bothering you that you want to lay off your chest? You want to ask, that session, we would have a specific time period during the session where you can actually ask your questions, okay? So let's just go straight into it, okay? What are the tech career opportunities to look out for in 2023? Now, if I should ask you, can anybody answer me? What key areas are you looking for next year? So if you're going to be looking at starting a tech career next year, what can you just give me a list of the ones that you have in mind that you feel like you want to do next year? Okay. Can anybody drop? Let me just see. UI UX, beautiful, which is good. Data analysis, Chichi, wonderful. Taiwo, AWS, wonderful. Business analyst, amazing. So I need more. This is good. Data analysis, AWS, that's cloud. Data engineering, Akeem, wonderful. Data science, Latifat, that's also wonderful. Digital marketing, Abdullah, that's actually very good also. All right, product management, software QA, HR analytics, Scrum Master, business analyst, HR cybersecurity. That's machine ops, that's machine learning operations, or not sure, machine learning, DevOps, and stuff like that. All right, product management, so and so on. You can see everybody has, a foresight to what they want to do for the new year. 2023, at the start of 2022, everybody had like a career projection to say that at the end of 2022 or during 2022, I want to achieve this particular feat in my career. Now, if you reassess yourself at the moment, do you think you've been able to achieve this particular feat? Have you been able to achieve this career projection that you're looking for in 2022? And that's why we actually designed this session to help you. Okay, yes, you can do it by yourself. Everybody can tell you to, or go on YouTube to learn these things, to do these things by yourself. But there is a difference between structured learning program and you just learn it haphazardly from different people on YouTube. It's different, all right? And we'll be talking about that as we proceed in the session. We'll be talking about that, okay? So let me just go straight into what I've prepared for you. What are the tech career opportunities to look out for in 2023? Now, the reasons why we selected these career opportunities, is first thing is the ease of learning. All right. So you don't need to break the bank, you don't need to break your head, you don't need to break anything in order for you to learn this. The ease of learning is why we actually selected the career paths that we're going to be talking about in the next few minutes. The ease of learning is easy to learn. So the next thing is the ease of transitioning or getting a job. So a lot of people learn a particular skill set, but you see that in the next 5, 6, 7, 8 months, a year, they've not gotten a job. Why? Because it's not easy. It's actually not easy for you to get a job. You can learn the skills, fine and good. Yes, you can learn it, but can you get a job? And because of the saturation in the market, because of the technical capacity and so on, there are so many things that you need to look out for. And those are the things we've put into consideration. All right. So the ease of learning, the ease of getting a job to guarantee you that after the training program, there is a very high likelihood for you to get a job. Okay. Now, the last thing is obviously rewarding. Your pocket has to be full. All right. You've invested your time. You've invested in your energy, you've invested your everything, literally your life, to learning a skill. You want to get it, you want it to pay. Is you investing your time. You want to get what? You want to get a rewarding pay at the end of everything. So high and rewarding salaries. So these are the key criteria that we looked out for in selecting the tech career outlook for 2023. The ease of learning, don't forget that. Everybody is tired. You're a professional. You are going up and down. You have to go to work. You have to come back. So we want to select programs that will be easy for you to learn, even with your busy schedule, all right? Also, you would be able to transition in a shorter period of time, all right? And the salary increase will be exponential. And we'll be talking about salary increase as we go on, the average salary of all these job roles that we're going to be speaking about. All right. So as we are going on, always remember these three things: ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and the high and rewarding salaries. Those are the reasons why we have selected this tech career outlook for 2023. All right. Now, the first of them all, okay, is business analysis. Everybody, one way or the other, is a business analyst. And I tell this, Francis will come on to speak about this. Everybody, one way or the other, you're already doing business analysis. That is why it is easy for you to learn. It is also easy for you to transition. It is also it has a very high rewarding salary. Now let's take a look at the average salary of a business analyst in the UK. Before we go into that, the reasons why there's a high demand of business analysts across the world is very simple, okay? It's because 40% of the projects fail due to lack of planning, all right? So in order for businesses across the world to ensure that business from inception to completion, before, that stage, that long process, all right? In order for someone to keep track of this, all right, there's a high demand of business analysts to come into those kind of projects, to monitor, to track, to, gather requirements, to ensure stakeholder engagement, and so much more. They need a business analyst on each of those projects to ensure that it goes as planned, all right? And that's because 40% of the projects that is being done in any organization fails. So there's a high demand for business analysts across the world. That's the UK, that's across Europe, across, North America, across Asia, Middle East, and every part of the world, even in Africa also. So easy to learn. Very easy to learn, okay? Now, average salary of a business analyst in the UK, let's take a look at that. Average salary of a business analyst in the UK. So if you look at this is coming from read.co.uk. The average salary of a business analyst is £55,000. When they say average doesn't mean that's the maximum salary you can earn. That is legit the average, the company, the region average, 55,000 according to read.co.uk. All right. Now, according to Total Jobs, now even in UK you would have heard of Total Jobs. It is £52,500. Okay. According to Glassdoor, it is 49,000, almost £50,000. Okay. And for Indeed, it is £44,000. It is £44,000. So when you look at this, yeah, you learn a skill set. Let's have a look at US before let's look at Canada first. So looking at Canada, yeah, the average salary of a business analyst is $79,000 Canadian dollars. Okay. From Indeed, it is $74,000. And for Toronto, Canada, for even Toronto Access, it is 72,000 Canadian dollars. So overall, it's above 70,000. Okay, it's above 70,000. All right. Now let's take a look at this in the US, also in the US market. So even in the US, what are you going to be looking at? Okay, the business analyst for Glassdoor is range what? $85,000. Okay. From Indeed, it is $80,000. And according to talent.com, it is $90,000. This is per annum, all right? Not per month, okay? If you're earning this per month, you're probably richer than 1% of the world already, all right? So, and like I said at the start of the session, okay? When I'm talking about this career outlook, I'm looking at three things. Ease of learning, it's not hard to learn. Easy to transition, and easy for you to get a job. Easy to transition, getting a job, and high and rewarding salaries. So I don't know what you're earning before, but I can tell you considerably, business analyst is, even once you do the training program, you get a job, your salary is considerably going to be higher than what you're earning before. Considerably going to be higher than what you're earning before. So if you want to transition next year to say that, okay, I don't want to do this job anymore. I need something more rewarding. I need some career projection in my life. All right. And you need the money also, obviously, okay? Business analyst is the career path for you, all right? So we have a program that is designed, okay? Adesa spoke about extensively about the kind of program that we offer, all right? So we have a program, business analyst track, that is designed to ensure that after the training program, after 2 months of intensive, immersive training program, okay, where you'll be working on live projects, you'll be working on industry relevant projects, okay? After that particular training program, you can easily get a job. And we offer quite a number of services, link optimization, CV review, navigating the job market, interview preparation, so many things that we have ensured that once you complete the program, you are likely going to get a job. You would likely get a job. And we have some of our alumni that would come up later to discuss, how they were able to transition from the classroom, from learning in, the virtual training program into the classroom, into the workspace itself. All right. So the program is for 3 months, okay? 2 months training program with 1 month free internship. You get an internship after the training program. So that also allows you to work on more projects. You work on more projects. And the whole essence of this is what we call experiential learning. Because any employer that you're going to meet is always going to ask you, where have you worked? Can you tell me a time that, looking for your experience? So if you've not worked on any kind of projects, it becomes very hard for you to transition because everybody's looking for people that have experience, isn't it? And that will be your case. So that is basically a case study. Every employer out there is looking for some people that have experience. And that is why we have developed a curriculum to have what? Experiential learning. Now, the beauty of this training program is it is designed to suit 2 certifications in the industry. Now, even in the UK, you've heard of BCS. Now, this training program is tailored towards BCS standards, okay? And the training program is also, tailored towards IIBA, as Institute of Business Analysts, even in Canada or in the US, that's also very relevant for you. So even after the training program, all right, you can go on to search for certificates if you need. We have people that have transitioned without the certificates, all right? And we'll be talking about that later, okay? So this is what we are going to be talking about, okay? This is what we're going to be talking about. So the training program is designed, all right, based on these two frameworks to ensure that you get the things settled out, all right? So having everything settled out, that is what we're going to be talking about when we get to, Francis is going to be coming up later to speak about, how to transition, how, the training program goes on, how his work as a business analyst, and so on and so forth, all right? But if you have any question, please take note of your question as we proceed, all right? And we'll have everything, we'll discuss everything as we proceed. So looking at the curriculum, you're going to learn Excel for data analytics, because majority of the role as business analyst now involves a bit of analytics, all right? So you will learn Excel for business analysis. You will learn Power BI for data analysis. You will learn SQL for data analytics, all right? So those are, the analytics aspect of business analyst that you would learn. It's also embedded in the training program, all practical, okay? All practical. So from learning those parts of, Excel, Power BI, and SQL for data analytics, you move into project initiation planning and agile essentials. You move into software development life cycles. You move into requirement fundamental, elicitation analysis, and specification and approval. All right. We talk about business analysis toolkit. We talk about, agile online, project collaboration. We talk about stakeholder analysis and engagement. We talk about setting up performance measures. So these are the things you're going to look at. And like I said, this training program is designed to suit BCS in the UK and also IBA either in Canada or you're in the US, all right? So, and also note this, that it's three things. The reasons why we have selected this training program or selected business analysis for the Tech Outlook for 2023 is because of the ease of learning, the ease of what? The ease of transitioning, and the ease of what? High and rewarding salary, the high and rewarding salary. So let me, okay, do you know what? Let me just go through all the career parts. Then we'll get to hear from Francis. Then we can, ask your questions. You can ask your questions and we'll be around to take your answers. Okay, take your questions, I mean. So let's just go through all the careers, the career that we have to talk about. Then we can take the questions at the end of the session. Okay. So the next part is data analytics. All right. The next part to talk about is data analytics. So always remember three things. The reasons why we have selected this: ease of learning, ease of transitioning, ease of getting a job, and the high and rewarding salary. Now let's take a look at the salary, okay? Now for the UK, all right, for the UK, according to Indeed, £35,000 is the average salary of a data analyst in the UK, all right? Also for read.co.uk, £40,000 is the average salary of a data analyst in the UK, all right? Now we have Glassdoor, saying it is about 35,000, but essentially, when you see this, you can make an assumption that definitely, all right, the salary is definitely above, is between 35 to like 40,000 pounds. Okay, that's even in UK. All right, and you can see the spread across different regions. Average salary in London is 52,000. Average salary in Manchester is 47,000 pounds. Average salary in West London is 45,000. So you can look at the region and you will see, get the kind of salary that you're going to get. All right, once you get your job as a data analyst, and in which this is average. This does not mean that you're going to get a 35K job. You can likely get higher than 35K. You can likely get 60, 70K. All right, shoot your shot. Okay, as long as you get it, that's good. But essentially, this is just looking at the average, the bare minimum average salary of a data analyst in the UK. Now let's look at that in Canada. Canada is 62,000 according to Indeed. According to talent.com, it is 69,000 Canadian dollars. And according to Glassdoor, it is 64,000. Now, when you look at this, definitely it's above 60K Canadian dollars. All right. Between 60 to 70K Canadian dollars. All right. So this is the average salary of a data analyst in Canada. All right. So when you let's look at that of the US, average salary of a data analyst in the US. So the average salary of a data analyst in the US is 72,000. Okay, according to Glassdoor. According to Indeed, it is 72,000, and according to Built-in, it is $80,000. So regardless of anywhere you are, you can see that these salaries are definitely significantly higher than any other job that you want to find yourself. And that is why they say tech jobs are the future of the work, are the future of work to get things settled in whatever career path you're choosing. All right. So to become a data analyst does not require so much. That's the beauty. All right. It is easy to learn. It is easy to transition, meaning it's easier for you to get a job. All right. And it's also highly rewarding in terms of pay. So regardless of anywhere you are in any region in the world, you are likely going to get a job and get a better pay. So that's why we have designed this Tech Career Outlook for 2023. All right. So we also have training programs designed to help you make this transition to get a job anywhere you are. You're in Africa, you're in Europe, you're in the US, you're in Canada. We have training programs designed to get you into this particular stage, into particular job roles. All right. So we have the CSI, which is the Career Skills Incubator Program, designed basically for data analytics for you to get that job after you finish the training program. So financial analytics, we also, if you're a financial professional and you want to have that investment banking, you want to have that data analytics, you want to have that financial analytics, background, you want to have that experience, you want to get a job in the financial space, leveraging finance, data analytics, finance, investment banking, and so much more. That is financial analytics. The HR analytics, you are an HR professional, okay? You're looking to get a better job, you're looking to get into that tech role. HR analytics is the one for you because it's a combination of HR and analytics to combine them together to give you what analytics. So HR is moving away from that mundane, I want to go on leave. Excuse me, sir, I want to go on leave. Can I book my holidays? HR is moving away from that, all right? It's becoming more strategic in the sense that you're using people data to solve critical problems within the business. How do you predict people will leave the organization? How do you analyze certain trends, people trends within the organization, performance evaluation, and so much more? All right. We'll be talking about this, okay, as we move on. All right. But this is just to tell you that regardless of your interest, you want to learn data analytics, perfect. You're a finance professional looking to learn data analytics, but you want to remain in the financial space. Financial analytics is designed for you. You're an HR professional. Oh, I don't want to leave HR. I love HR. I also want to learn, I want to use that. I want to use analytics. I want to use tech in HR. What can I do? HR analytics is also designed for you. All right. And we'll be talking about the success of, of some of our participants. All right. Now, also know that these programs are starting on the 21st of January. So if you want to start as soon as possible, register and get yourself into these programs. All right. So what are you going to be learning for this program, for the CSI, which is the Career Skills Incubator Program? Sorry, please, guys. Can you tell me everyone? All right. Thank you. So what are you going to be learning for the Career Skills Incubator Program? Career Skills Incubator Program is purely data analytics. All right. So you learn problem solving, which is an essential skill as a data analyst. So everybody just wants to learn Excel. Everybody wants to learn Power BI. I can use Power BI. I can do visualizations and that. But can you solve problems? Because what you are recruited for as a data analyst is to solve problems. All right. So the problem is every organization is going to be faced with one problem or the other. They are losing customers. They are gaining too much customers. They are losing money. They are tracking certain KPIs within the business. Whatever the case may be, there's always going to be one issue or the other. Now, as a data analyst, you need to be able to understand the problem, okay, identify the problem, figure out the root causes, and so much more. Now, a lot of people know how to use Excel, but they don't know how to solve problems. And that is why we have designed that training program, problem solving, to ensure that once you even, you tell people you have problem solving skills, you outline the things that will help you, solve problems within the organization, they're likely going to employ you because you have experience, you can speak about it, and that's what sets you apart from every other candidate out there. So we have problem solving. We teach you Microsoft Excel, okay? Very extensive program on Excel, Power BI, and SQL, okay? And we also specialize also in what we call synthesizing insights and data visualization. Now, everybody can create visuals in Power BI, Excel, and the rest, but can you synthesize insight? Can you communicate it in a more elucidative way, in a more, refined way? Essentially, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so we'll be talking about this extensively as we go on. So that is what we're going to cover under the data analytics training program. Okay, and this is enough for you to get a job as a data analyst anywhere in the world. All right, you're in the US, you're in Canada, you're in Africa, you're in Europe, anywhere in Europe, UK, France, Germany. We are capable of transition across the Europe market. So this is enough for you to get started. I've worked as a data analyst, business intelligence analyst, name it, data scientist, and this is enough for you to get a job in any organization, all right, anywhere in the world, all right? Now, HR analytics, on the other hand, which is designed for HR professionals that want to leverage analytics in the HR space, okay? This program is going to take you end to end, okay? You become a superstar. We had someone that completed this training program a couple of months back, okay? And eventually got a job within the HR space of one of the largest banks in Africa, okay? Now, staying just a few months on that particular role, this guy, this particular superstar, okay, eventually was communicating, analytics across, the HR workspace, monitoring who was going to leave the business, monitoring, certain KPIs, performance KPIs for the business. And eventually, this guy, in just the space of 2 months, not even, his probation was for a year, in the space of 2 months, they gave him a full-time contract and also made him the team lead for the HR workspace, for their HR department within the organization. And this is one of the largest banks in Africa. So the training program is not designed for you to be a self-starter, okay? Go and start your career. No, the training program is designed, all our training program, in fact, is designed for you to go and conquer anywhere you find yourself. And we're going to be talking to our alumni, okay? Some of them that have gone through the training programs, and they're doing wonderfully well in, their careers at the moment, okay? So this is also what you'll be learning for HR analytics. You'll learn problem solving, okay, which is essential, like I said, for any analytics professional. Problem solving is very essential. So you'll learn Excel, you'll learn Power BI, you'll learn HR analytics and performance evaluation. You'll also learn human resource metrics and life cycles. You'll learn HR analysis and dashboarding. You'll learn collaboration and report automation, because you don't want to create the same reports every day. So how do you automate this report? You would also learn it. So the last thing you're going to learn is building your case and creating action. So like I said, HR workspace is moving away from that mundane, I want to go on leave, book my holidays, and those kind of mundane tasks you do. So how do you ensure that the executive management get to hear your analytics, get to see the impact of your analysis, all right, within the HR workspace? And that's why we've created a curriculum, solely on building a case and action, creating action for the workspace. So HR professionals, I won't lie to you, there's a key thing they say that that machine learning, and automation is likely not going to take over HR, because obviously HR is responsible for recruiting and also on and so forth within the organization. But people without analytic skills will likely be replaced by people who know how to do analytics. So, and that's why we have designed this training program, to ensure that regardless of anywhere you find yourself, okay, you can, solve problems within the HR workspace of any organization. Now, the last one, in terms of analytics, is what we call the financial analytics training program. Now, this training program, okay, is a combination of data analytics, investment banking, corporate finance, and so on, so much, okay? So it's basically designed for people that are in the financial space that still want to learn analytics, but want to remain in the financial space. And we have a professional in the house who is a financial analytics professional, has trained quite over 4,000 people across the world. And she'll be speaking about, how people have also leveraged financial analytics in getting jobs across the world, sponsored jobs, in the UK, in the US, in Canada, and so much more. All right. So You're also looking to learn problem solving, Microsoft Excel, Power BI, accounting fundamentals, financial analysis, financial modeling, valuation, scenario and sensitivity analysis, and so much more. All right. So these training programs are selected for the Tech Career Outlook for 2023. And don't forget, the reasons why we have selected this career outlook is not just for the fun of it. It's carefully selected based on 3 premises. Okay. Easy to learn. I can tell, I think I mentioned it at the start of the session. We have experts. We have people that have gone through this. I've gone through the hard way of, learning, of trying to get a job. They've done it the hard way. So rather than you going through the hard way also, we have designed these programs to teach you, okay, to bring them in so they can also share their experience in order for you to make it easy for you to get a job. All right, it's going to be, I can guarantee you, it's a step-by-step approach. You can see the step, you can see the way we designed the curriculum steps. Is not just for the fun of it. It's to tell you how structured the training program is and what you're going to be doing after one thing goes. You move to the next step, you move to the next step. And I can guarantee you, you are likely going to get a job with rewarding salary in 2023. Now, these are the professionals that we're going to be talking to. Just bear in mind, ask your questions, they will answer your questions, and these are the professionals that we're going to be speaking to. So we have Adeza Suleiman, we have Nene, we have Ubang Joseph, an alumni, which currently works with Cognizant. He finished the training program and got a job as a data analyst with Cognizant in the UK, all right? We have Olayode Wakilu, also a data analyst, did a data science program, got a job as a data analyst with Accenture. He's also going to be on a call to speak to you guys, to tell you guys that it's not hard. It's 3 things. Learn. It's easy to learn, easy to transition, in which they will share their own experience, all right? And high-paying and rewarding salary, all right? So those are the things that we're going to be looking at to ensure that we have quite a number of people transition next year into the tech roles, all right? So let's look at the next career outlook, which is data science. Some people mention data science. Oh, I want to learn data science. I want to become a data scientist. If you've ever tried to learn data science yourself, you would know how confusing, how scattered, how very unstructured it will be. So you get to a time that you ask yourself, why am I learning this? Why do I want to learn Python? What's the essence of Python in analysis? Why do I need to learn, statistics? Why do I need to know covariance and the difference between covariance and regression and, all these terminologies out there? So it's difficult to learn on your own, and that is why we have created this training program to help you transition easily. All right. Now, without data science, companies are blind and deaf, wandering out onto the web, okay, like a deer on the freeway. So basically, every organization out there is looking for data science to make sense of what the data within the organization is saying. There's obviously Forbes and so many other, renowned organizations out there have named data science the sexiest job of the future, because every organization in the world at the moment definitely needs data scientists to make sense of their data. All right. So we'll be talking more about that as we proceed. Okay. Let's look at the average salary of a data scientist in the UK. So if you learn data science, what is the likely, salary outlook for you in the UK? So the average salary is £50,000, in the UK, according to Glassdoor. Okay, according to Indeed, it's £50,000. According to Read.co.uk, it is 55,000. So once you learn this training program here in the UK, you're likely going to get 50K and above. All right, if you target yourself properly. All right, this is an average. Okay, this is an average salary, but you're likely going to get a job within this salary scale. This is the average salary of data scientists in the UK. Now let's look at that in Canada. Canada is 94,000 according to Glassdoor. According to Indeed, it is 87,000. According to Talent, it is 94,000. So we can safely say it is about roughly 90K and above, okay, if you're in Canada, all right? So if you're looking towards getting to that 6-figure in Canada, all right, definitely this is a career path for you. If you're in the UK, definitely you're in 6 figures already if you are in the US, all right, which is a sweet career outlook. We have quite a number of people that did the training program during the course of the year, all right, and they got a 6-figure job. Okay, they were doing, some of them were working in customer service. Some of them were working in what they call this they're working in banking, financial advisors and stuff like that. And eventually got their first job as data scientists. And they eat that 6-figure mark in the first. And that's why we're talking about the average salary. And just to bring to people to tell you that you can learn this thing and get your job. You can get a job as a data scientist. All right. So you can see this for Glassdoor, it is 121,000, 145,000 in the US, according to Indeed. And according to Built-in, it is 124,000. So it's safe to say that definitely is above, 120,000. Okay, safe to say that you are going to be earning above $120,000 if you're in the US. So we have also designed a training program called the Full Stack Data Science Program to help you transition to get a job, to get that, just devote your time, your energy, and you're likely going to get a job as a data scientist anywhere in the world. Okay, so this training program comes with a specialization in computer vision. So you learn data science, you learn statistics, you learn machine learning, you learn computer vision, you learn SQL, and so much more. Let's take a look at the curriculum, and we'll speak more about the curriculum. Okay, so this training program is designed for beginners. You don't need to know anything. All our training programs are designed for absolute beginners, people that don't have any experience in anything. So you learn statistics, you learn Microsoft Excel, you learn Tableau, you learn SQL, you learn programming, Python programming, you learn data analytics and visualization, you learn machine learning, and finally you build your own project on computer vision. Okay, so these training programs are designed, like I said, for absolute beginners. You don't need any experience to get started. All the people that take it are either doing zoology or some weird courses, but eventually they get a job as data scientists, data analysts in different organizations. Okay, and that's what we're going to be talking about as we proceed during the training program. Okay, during this session that we're going to be talking about today. All right, so look at and always remember three things: ease of transitioning. All right. Ease of learning, and high and rewarding salary. You don't want to learn a skill that the pay is not competitive. It fluctuates. It's very, it's high in terms of high fluctuations, because today somebody's earning ridiculous salary. The next day somebody's earning very poor salary. But these careers that we have spoken about, you have a very good potential of earning a high salary after you finish the training program. Okay. So let's move on. Let's take a step away from data science, and now we're looking at data engineering. Data engineering. Now, there is no single place you go out there at the moment where you will get a training program on data engineering. And you would ask yourself, why? Why is there no training program on data engineering? It's because it is a new field. It is a new field where nobody has any, it's still a relatively new field. Majority of the data engineers you have at the moment are either software developers, okay? They're either software developers or data scientists, okay? Data scientists that's adjusted or that transition into data engineering based on the job they do in the office, not based on training, not based on school or anything. Data engineering is that new job, all right, that everybody is looking out for, okay? Data engineering is there is no day that goes by that I don't get called for data engineering jobs in the UK. There's no day that goes by. Oh, we're looking for a data engineer. Please, could you recommend if you're not even available? I get emails, I get calls. That's because there's so much high in demand. And I will speak about that. You can ask a question around why data engineering is high in demand, and I would answer your question at the end of the session. But just to let you know that it's a new field, telling you that there's not too much competition out there at the moment, all right? You would likely learn and get a job, okay? So now, data scientists are involved in gathering data, massaging it into tactical forms, making it to tell stories and presenting that story to others. Now, before a data scientist will even get that data to massage the data, before a data scientist can even see the data, to even start working on data, a data engineer is the one that provides that data to the data engineer. Now, you see how important, a data engineer's role is within an organization. So before a data scientist, we even see the data to build visualization and so on. The data engineer is the one that would make that data available. Now you see how important a data engineer role is, all right? And that is why it's part of the SEC career outlook for 2023. Learn it, easy to learn, easy to transition, easy to, high-paying jobs. Now let's take a look at the, the salary, salary outlook for data engineers. Okay, let me take a look at that. All right, and we'll talk about that. Okay, so let's look at the curriculum. Introduction to data engineering, obviously, is for beginners. You don't need any experience to get started in data engineering. So you're going to learn, that introduction to data engineering, what you need to know, the fundamentals, the terminologies you need to know, and so on. You're going to learn SQL, which is the language of database. Okay, it's the language of database, and it's the most important skill you need to have as a data engineer. All right. You're also going to learn Python, which is the language of, that's the language you'll be using to move data from one source to the other source, performing data transformation, and so much more. You'll also be learning Postgres, okay, which is one of the database platform. You'll be learning more than Postgres. You'll be learning other platforms, but the one that we're going to be using is Postgres SQL. You'll be learning NoSQL, which is MongoDB. You'll be learning AWS, okay. You'll be learning, Airflow, which is used for orchestration and scheduling, okay? And you'll be learning version control, which is CI/CD, which is GitHub, all right? You'll be learning version control using GitHub. So it is one of a kind. And I can ask you to do your own research to find out if you can get any training program where you can sit down, learn from an instructor, ask questions from the instructor, and we have the navigating the job market, how to get a job, interview preparation, and so on. There is no other place where you can get this package anywhere in the world. I can guarantee you that. Okay, so that's data engineering. Now the last one, okay, last but not the least, that we're going to be talking about is Power Platform Developer. Now, I don't know if all of you have heard of Power Platform before, but it's in high demand anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. Power Platform Developer is in high demand. Now, the beauty about this is no code, zero code. You're not coding. You're not learning code, zero. All right? It's the beauty of it. You're not learning any code. All right? So it's easy to learn, easy to get a job, and high reward in salary. Let's take a look at the average salary of, a Power Platform developer in the UK. Average is 45,000 for Power Platform developer. And according to Talent, it is 62,500. I can guarantee you Power Platform developers in the UK, they are making their cashing out big time. Contractors, full-time employees, anywhere in the world, they're cashing out. So looking at Canada also, we have Glassdoor saying it is $69,000 average salary. According to Talent, it is $95,000. Okay. Now let's look at according to the US, it is 135,000 for EV in the US, and it is according to Talent.com, it is actually 107. Even personally, I think I'm going to go to the US because these salaries in the US are very, very, are very enticing. I won't lie to you. Okay, so these are what, the average salary of Power Platform developers you receive, as a Power Platform developer, engineer, anywhere in the world. Okay, now, like I said, we've designed this training program to help you become, a Power Platform engineer, a Power Platform developer, in order for you to get a job anywhere in the world, anywhere you find yourself. All right. So this training program is going to take you through introduction to Power Platform. Like I said, all our training programs are for beginners. You don't need any experience to get started. All right. So Power Platform developer, your introduction components of, you're going to learn components of Microsoft Power Platform, Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Microsoft Power Virtual Agents. And the last but not the least aspect of it is building your case and creating action. So at the end of everything, you need to be able to make an impact within the business, okay? That's the key thing. Whatever you're learning, you want to see how you can implement it in the business. A lot of people learn data analytics, data science, Power Platform, but they don't know how to use it within the workspace. And that is why we developed that training program to always have that building your case and creating action within the workspace. So Power Platform is huge. Even in the UK, it's huge. You will see roles, contract roles, or full-time roles of 60, 75K and above. All right. I can guarantee you that I know what I'm talking about. And that is why we have selected this Tech Career Outlook for 2023. And that's why we have created step-by-step approach to help you any field you want. Select any of the training programs that we have spoken about, and we can speak on it carefully. You will definitely be able to transition easily. So the programs that we've spoken about are all going to be starting on the 21st of January, 2023. 21st of January, 2023. Now, Adeza has spoken extensively on this. The reasons why we set ourselves aside, apart from any other institution out there doing any form of training, is because of these after services that we provide. Now, I work as a global business systems analyst with Teleflex. I also work as a business data support lead with the post office in the UK. All right. So we have people like myself, people like Adeza, okay, people like Francis, people like, we have quite a number of facilitators across the UK, across the US, across Canada that will be working with you to provide all these services. Now, I have applied for jobs in the UK. I know what recruiters will be looking out for. And so as, all the professionals that we have, okay? So we know how your CV should look like. So we provide that one-on-one CV review, okay, to help you, tailor your CV, all right? There's something we call ATS in the UK or even across the world, okay? Application tracking system. So a lot of people will apply for a job, but they will never get called. How? Why? Because their CV doesn't match that particular region. All right. And that is why we provide a one-on-one CV review to ensure that your CV matches the region where you are. You're in Canada, you're in Trinidad and Tobago, you are in anywhere across the world. We provide these services for you. All right. For free. You're not paying for this. It's free of charge. Okay. We just love you that way. You get me? All right. We also have LinkedIn optimization. All right. A lot of recruiters, the first thing they do is to go to your LinkedIn page. You apply for a job, they search your name on LinkedIn to find out what your LinkedIn looks like. So if your LinkedIn is not optimized, right now get a call, okay? So everything has to align together in order for you to hit it big, eat it, and, go home. So you have LinkedIn optimization also for free. We also provide recommendation and reference letter. Because you don't have experience working as a data scientist, you've never worked in any way, in any place as a data scientist or a business analyst or a data analyst or a Power Platform developer, we provide a recommendation letter, that reference letter, to give you the nudge above any other person applying for a job, okay? So we give you that, and that has really helped our participants across the world to get a job. Okay, and you will see we have our alumni on the call that will be speaking to you and share their own experience and how the recommendation, the reference letter, and even the training at large has helped them get their job. Last but not the least is job and interview preparation. Now, you get an interview. How do you prepare for it? Okay, what kind of question are you thinking they're going to ask? I have had my own fair share of interviews in the UK. I'll speak for myself, okay? I have had my own fair share of interview, good, bad, and I know what to expect to a very large extent. First level, second level, technical interview, what are they expecting from you? I know what they're expecting, all right? So those kind of sessions basically are designed to help you, prepare before you go for the interview. And I can tell you, a lady got a job a few weeks back, all right, also in the UK with one of the largest FMCG companies here in the UK. And she was scared. Would I be able to do it? Or Adeza, will I be able to do it? And she was scared. She was, and I was telling her that the people that are going to interview you would not be as smart as you. I can guarantee you that. Okay? Just go there, be friendly, do your needful. Obviously, we prepared very well, extensively, hours of preparation. And eventually she got a job. And they were even asking her, some of our people have gotten jobs across, the UK, the Canada and rest. They've actually asked them to train the team whenever they get the job. They ask them to train the team because a lot of people know how to use Power BI, but there are certain technicalities, there are certain keywords, there are certain experience that they have never gotten. Currently, where I work, in the board organizations where I work, I offer training. I train members of the staff, okay, within the organization. And those are the kind of experience that we are bringing to bear to ensure that you get a job. Now, I've been in the UK for, about a year now. I was working in Ireland before, and majority of the companies I've worked in, you barely see an African. You barely see an African working in tech. Why? Where are we? What are we doing? Working in care jobs, working, Uber driver, Deliveroo, and so much more, okay? Whereas you can actually learn this thing, okay, and get a job. That's the beauty of it. That is legit the beauty of it. I'm not saying there's dignity in your labor, all right? Dignity in whatever you're doing. But what we're saying now is you can actually just upskill yourself and earn considerably higher. If you look at yourself, what is your career projection for next year in your current role, what you're doing at the moment? What do you envisage is your next pay? We have people that have moved from 30K to 60K in the same year, learning the same skills that we're talking about right now, okay? And we're going to be hearing from some of them, okay? When I'm talking about 30, 60K, I'm talking about pounds. I'm not talking about, Naira, all right, because that's obviously not. And that is exactly what we're talking about. We have people that have gotten jobs, 500, 700K in Nigeria, data analysts, data scientists, back in Nigeria. It's the same Nigeria where we are, because a lot of people are leaving. So who are the people that are going to replenish the people that have left? You or any other person that is back in Nigeria. You can also earn big in Nigeria. We're learning the skill sets that we're talking about, not just in pounds, not just in dollars. You can actually earn big in Naira or in your local currency, anywhere you are in the world. All right. So these are the services that we offer. We also offer navigating the job markets because it's new to you. You've never applied for a job as a data engineer or a data scientist or a data analyst or a business analyst. How do you apply for a job? We have what we call navigating the job market sessions to help you, tell you the places to look into, the nook and crannies, the black boxes, of job application, where you can go to get jobs, all right? So we have those sessions to help you. All this is basically designed for you to get a job, nothing more, nothing less, all right? And I'll share this last experience before I move into the last part, which Adeza is going to come in for. I was having a training in my new organization, in the post office, all right? I was having a session training the C-level executives. And during the session, after the session, someone sent me a Teams message. We use Teams in office. Someone sent me a Teams message. I was like, oh, Ife, thank you. Yeah, I never knew you were in post office already. I just got to see you on the call and so on and so on. He heard my voice, during the session because they are in the office. They work in the office. I work remotely. So she got to hear my voice and she was excited. She said she had gone through the business analysis training program with Tenalytics. And currently she resumed about 3 weeks ago. Prior to the time she was talking to me back then, she resumed about 3 weeks to that time and currently works as a business analyst within the post office here in the UK. Now, this person never reached out to me. I never even knew they got a job, but it was just exciting that I knew like somebody had gone through the training program and eventually is working currently as a business analyst. All right. So it's rewarding, to be very honest. All right. It's a very rewarding career. And I can tell you to take that knowledge for 2023, all the tech outlook, all the careers that we've spoken about today, that I've spoken about, and we are going to still talk about, is ease of learning. It's easy to learn. Don't get it twisted. It is easy to learn, easy for you to transition or get a job, okay? And also easy and high salary, high paying salaries. That's what we're looking at. Okay, so let's work together in the new year to see how we can actually get that job, okay, get you into that next career phase of yours in your career itself. So Adeza, do you want to come in? Also, you can work as freelancer, earning dollars. You don't need to get a full-time job. I work as a contractor. I've worked as a freelancer, and you can always, work anywhere in the world and get the pay that you're looking for. All right. So let's say Adeza, do you want to come in?
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for that, Ife. And I think we've also been getting a couple of questions. So guys, please feel free, send your questions in. We'll take all your questions, okay? We've been taking notes of your questions and we'll answer every question. Every single question. We'll have a session for Q&A towards the end of the presentation, okay? So send your questions. We'll be here. We're very happy to take all your questions. Now, if he has reeled out a couple of programs that, like he said, we have selected and carefully selected, so to speak, to ensure that going into 2023, you are able to get into tech irrespective of wherever you want to find yourself going forward. Now, all the programs, okay, if you want to go into data science, for example, the full stack data science program, the data analytics program, the Power Platform developer, and so on and so forth. So each program would cost a 400 pounds or 320,000 naira if you want to pay in naira. However, we have a discount for everybody on the call, and the discount would last for the first 20 people to register. Okay, so instead of paying 400 pounds for the full training fee, you only get to pay, you have a discount of 100 pounds and you only get to pay 300 pounds. Okay, and if you're going to pay that in naira, you'll be paying 270,000 naira. All right, now we've also tried to make it easy for you to make payments, which is to break the payment in 2 installments. Now, instead of paying the 300 pounds at once, you get to pay 200 pounds to get into the program, and then the balance of the 100 pounds 1 month after you have started. Okay, same, you are paying in naira, you get to pay 180,000 to get into the program, and you pay 90,000 1 month after you've gotten into the program. And for dollars, if you're paying in US dollars, you get to pay $400, $300 to get started, and a balance of $100. And for Canadian dollars, you get to pay 350 Canadian dollars to get started, and then the balance of 150 Canadian dollars 1 month after you've gotten into the program. All right. Now, this is what the program entails. For the full stack data science, the data engineering, the data analytics program, the advanced HR analytics and machine learning, the advanced financial analytics and machine learning, and so on, you get to pay that. Now, for the Power Platform, the HR analytics and financial analytics program, that's the one right at the bottom of the screen. If you can see the screen, that's the one right at the bottom, okay? That's 150 pounds. That's a discounted fee. And you can also make payments in 2 installments, all right? 100 pounds to get started, and then 50 pounds 1 month after you started. And if you're paying in naira, you get to pay 100,000 naira, 70,000 and 30,000. If you're paying in dollars, you get to pay 150 to get into the program, and then $50 1 month after getting into the program. Now, the data engineering itself is the only program that has a significantly different amount when it comes to the content, the curriculum, and the prospects as well. So for those of you who would want to go into the data engineering program, it's 400 pounds. That's the discounted amount. The original fee for that is 500 pounds. But then we are giving everybody on this call and the first 20 people to register, not just anybody or everybody, all right? So it's all about taking action. That's number one. Secondly, it's also making a decision on your 2023 plans. If you want to get into tech, you've always wanted to get into tech, you make up your mind, you decide, and then you take action. We've had a couple of people that have registered even before this session. We held a similar session on Thursday, on the 23rd, and a lot of people made payments during that session, and now we are having this, all right? You have the unique opportunity to take advantage of the discounts that we have. Now, it all depends on you, on whichever program you want to go into, the program you want to take, and you take that decision, you take that action, and you make payments. We'll answer all your questions. If you have questions about, I've seen questions like, what's the difference between data analysis and data science and so on, business analysis and data analysis. We'll answer all those questions to help you understand exactly what you're getting into and also helping you make a decision at the end of the day. Now, if you said a lot of things, all right, and I understand that it's a little bit difficult to comprehend some things that you don't even understand in the first instance. How can I move from 30,000 pounds to 60,000 pounds? is it even possible? Is it even possible that I can make that amount of money? All right, because I've always been doing my customer care. I've been making 10 pounds per hour, 11 pounds per hour. I've been doing my care job, making 9 point something pounds per hour and so on. But 60,000 pounds, is it possible? The answer is very simple. Nobody was given birth to with data analytics or data engineering or data science. We all learned it eventually, all right? So you get to learn. And where this is a bit, I would say, we hold your hand and make it a bit easy for you is that we prepare you, apart from the technical skills, you also get to learn all the soft skills you require to get a job, okay? So from your CV to your LinkedIn to your preparing you for interviews, how to navigate the job market, identifying strategic, positions, where you should apply, how you should apply, what job titles should you look out for, and so on and so forth, okay? That's the account details on the screen. If you're making your payments in pounds, you have the account details. You're making your payments in Naira, you have the account details in Fidelity Bank. And as soon as you make payments or when you make payments, all you need to do is send us a WhatsApp message, all right? And then we'll send a link to you for you to send us your proof of payment, and immediately you get a welcome kit, all right? The welcome kits would contain all the details that you need, to get the program started. You have the welcome kits, which will contain all those details. If you want to make your payments in US dollars, if you want to make your payments in Canadian dollars as well, you can also get to make your payments on using the account details you have on the screen. Again, the slides will be sent to you. You have all the details that you need, the account details. But again, you can just take a screenshot if you want to and make that payment, send us a proof of payment, and then we send you your welcome kits. So if you can just go back to the breakdown of all the programs and the different prizes, yes. So the Career Skills Incubator, that's the data analytics. You can see that right at the top, the first program. You have the full stack data science, you have the business analysis, the advanced financial analytics and machine learning, advanced HR analytics and machine learning. A couple of you said you'd like to get into HR analytics, data science, business analysis, and so on and so forth, okay? And then you have the data engineering, and you have the Power Platform, HR analytics, and financial analytics, all right? So again, a lot of you have joined our masterclasses right from the beginning of the year. You joined in January, you joined in February, you joined in March, you joined in April, but you never took action. And some people that joined well after you have always said, oh, I'm going to join. They've gotten jobs and they have transitioned and more than tripled their salary, not in Naira, but in pounds. One of them is here on the call, and he's going to share his experience with you. And he will tell you how he was able to learn from us, do all the things we've said he should do, leverage Tenalytics as a point of, we gave him recommendation using Tenalytics as his referee. He got a job, right? And today he can tell a good story about his journey and what he has been able to achieve. He's on the call and he's going to share his story with you. So again, I'll just say, we're going to answer your questions if you have questions. So feel free, stay on the call, take note of your questions, send them in, we'll take note of them, answer all your questions before we call it wraps at the end of today. Okay, Ife.
All right. So looking at the first career outlook for 2023, the top of the list is business analyst. We have, one of the renowned best, one of the best guys in the industry at the moment with us in the house, Francis Okafor. He has quite a number of extensive experience, in business analysis, and he's going to be on the call to just, give a brief background about himself, about business analysis, and what to expect in terms of the training program and how easy it is for people to get a job within the space of business analysis. All right, Francis, I know you're on the call. Yeah, over to you, Francis.
Thank you, Afemaya. Hi, Deza. Hi, everyone. As Afemaya said, I'm Francis Okafor. I'm a senior business analyst working for a consultancy firm in the UK. I've been with them for about 9 months and actually recently got promoted from business analyst to senior business analyst. As FMA has said on the call, the barrier of entry to becoming a business analyst is very low. But one of the things you need to do is continuously improve your skills. So if you learn something, is how you can apply and add value to the company you eventually work with, or the company you're currently at. So a bit about my background is I studied business information technology in university. So, it helped studying a topic like that in uni. I also had a placement year, so I worked with a manufacturing firm for a year, where what I learned for the first 2 years, I then applied it into the company before going back to university and then graduating. So once I graduated, and I graduated during the pandemic, so it was very challenging for me. So it hasn't been an easy journey for me. It's actually been very challenging. So when there's any excuses, I can't get a job, you just need to apply yourself a bit more. But what I'm trying to say, I graduated, then I got a junior business analyst role. There I was learning my skills. I was learning from the senior members. I was, listening. I was in meetings, trying to learn as much as possible. And then when I wanted to transition from that, because I wasn't getting paid a lot, I was more like an intern, straight out of uni intern salary. So then I was like, okay, how am I going to upgrade? How am I going to level up? So then I joined a course similar to Tenalytics, where I then learned about what I've done in the workplace, but then how it can be applied in a more bigger company. So some of the skills or areas I was lacking, I picked up those skills. I learned more about it, and then from doing that, I was able to get a new role as a business analyst, and then the learning didn't stop there. So I got the salary increase. I was in a bigger company. I was like, I need to do more, and that's where getting certified, getting the certifications like the BCS, the IIBA really helps. But before you can do those certificates, in my opinion, it helps for you to join a corporation like Tenalytics, the training provider like Tenalytics, where they'll teach you, or will teach you, how to apply those things in the real world. Because you can have all the theory in the world, but you need to be able to apply it in a practical scenario. Because one of the things when you're going for your interviews, they'll be like, how will you add value to my business? That's what they want to see. You're a business analyst. You're meant to be analyzing the business, how you can make them more efficient, how you can make them more money, how you can reduce costs, those kind of things. So they really want to see, how can you add value to the company? And the only way you can add value to the company is by applying yourself, taking those theoretical knowledge and applying them to practice. So that's why being part of Tenalytics, it helps a lot. And this, when I joined a training provider similar to Tenalytics, it really boosted me. So from there, I've had about 3 BA roles, and because we're in tech, we're almost allowed to jump from place to place. Although you want some stability is very good, but it's like, if I'm here for 6 months and I'm not enjoying it, you can just buff up your CV and then you start in interviews again. And one of the things, the more interviews you do, the better you become at it. So some of us are novices, we're in care, or we're in other occupations, right? And then, we're going to go for BA roles, BA interviews, and we're kind of nervous. But one thing I can tell you is that the more interviews you do, the better you become at them. And that's what I've had to go through. I've had to, I was very nervous, I had to go through the interview, training, practice. But now I can confidently say, if you put me in an interview tomorrow with no preparation, I can confidently go in there and talk about my experience, talk about how I can add value to that company. And I can guarantee you they'll be impressed and consider me for that role. That's how confident I am. Before, that wasn't the case, but now, because I've gone through it, I've learned different things. I can say I'm confident with that. So in terms of where I'm at now, I'm a senior business analyst. One of the things as a BA, some people ask, okay, what's the difference between a business analyst and a data analyst? Well, a BA would look at the business, right? And they will look at the culture of the business. They'll look at how they do certain things. They'll look at a holistic view. So they'll look at everything within the business. While a data analyst might use information or numbers, numerical figures, to support evidence for them to do something. So I'll give you an example. As a BA, right, I'm an agent of change, because they've asked me to come to the business and see how they can improve things. So that means change is about to happen. Whether that's digital transformation, whether that's resourcing, there's a change happening. So I need to support the business with the change, right? So that's giving them awareness, desire, the knowledge, the reinforcing that change. Those are the kind of things I would do on my day-to-day. Helping them, supporting with the change that's going on with the business. And then, someone like Adeza or FMA will come with the data and say, Francis, maybe, if you do it, these figures show you support that if you do it this way, you will get a better result by doing it in this particular way. And they're like, okay, cool. But does that data fit with the strategy of the business? So those are the kind of things that I'll question with the different teams in the business. So as a BA, you work with all sorts. I work with HR, I work with recruitment, I work with talent, I work with finance, I work with a range of teams. And one thing, how I add value to a company, or how as a BA you would add value to a company, is requirements gathering. That's one of the key areas which you learn with Tenalytics, is how you gather requirements, because you can imagine you've got all these different people, right? And they have their own way of doing things. So they need someone within the business who can almost put everyone in line and remember what the objective is. And that's where I'll come in as a BA to help the business with the objectives, strategize, and look at the people who work for them as well. Because I think a lot of misconception is that as a business analyst, you need to know IT, you need to be technical, you need to code. No, what you need as a BA is to be able to help with changes with business. So you need to understand a bit of IT, but the role isn't very technical based. It's more of, helping people with transitions. So like if you have a new tech solution in the company, how will you get people to use it efficiently? Because you don't want the same problems happening with the old solution to have with the new solution. So it's those kind of things you'd be helping with. So I think I've briefly covered about my experience, what it is to go into business analyst. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions, or if you want to hear more about what it is to be a BA.
All right. Thanks a lot, Francis. Thanks a lot for, sharing your experience and, talking about all the things. And I think there's something critical in what you said, the ease of transitioning, ease of moving from one job to the other. So if you are looking at, moving from, you're not okay where you are at the moment and you want to switch that role, you can always switch. And the reasons why we actually selected these roles is not just for the fun of it. It's not just because of what every other person is doing. It's based on those three premises that I listed out at the start of the session. Easy to learn. Everybody's a business analyst already, one way or the other. You're all doing business analysis, engaging with people, all right? You do business analysis already, one way or the other. So it's easy to learn. It's easy for you to transition to get a job. And also, it's very rewarding. You can see how fresh and clean Francis is at the moment. So
this haircut is a month old. Honestly, last week, because we've had so many, we've got deadlines coming in for financial year 2023, it's literally, I've just been focusing on that. I've just about had a Christmas, so, but yes. I
don't believe you, man. That's right, yeah. You're looking good. Thanks a lot for that. So yeah, Francis is still on the call. If you have any questions for business analysis, you still have any concerns, this is the kind of session. That's why we've designed this session for you to speak with an expert within the industry, for you to gather that, allay all the fears that you have at the back of your mind. Also, we have all the people from, alumni from, okay, let's take on from Nene, talk about financial analytics. All right, talking about financial analytics. So Nene, if you're on a call, you want to speak about the financial analytics aspect of it, and we can move to someone else.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. Hi, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're joining from. Yeah, so the financial analytics program, just like what we said so far, is mixing the data analytics aspect with finance, with investment bank, with corporate finance, right? Because just like what Efi and Adeza have said, the future of work is data. So it's those that are able to work with data, those that are able to provide insights from data. And apart from operational data, there is an increasing demand for people with finance data knowledge. Now, not just accounting knowledge, right? Because machines are doing this right now. Machines are providing reports. Machines are doing this. So what makes you different? Remember, like I think at Efi or Adeza said, it's not, machines won't necessarily take your job from you. It's people that know how to use these tools that will take the jobs from those who don't know how to use these tools. So you see a lot of people looking for financial reporting data and financial reporting data analytics professionals, right? Finance data insights professionals, right? So basically, we looked at it and said, it's not just okay for us to discuss just the data analytics aspect, right? But we also should be able to help finance professionals to utilize these data analytics tools in their day-to-day. And that was what made us to create the financial analytics program. And even, I think I mentioned it a couple of days ago, right? That there's also an increasing demand for commercial analytics professionals. Everything is all the same thing. It's just the title. Literally, they want someone with finance commercial knowledge, right? Who knows how to use data analytics tools. And you, who has been doing financial reporting, you've been doing accounting, you've been doing investment banking, you've been doing whatever, as it relates to finance, you can utilize these tools to move into the tech space, get a better paying job, or even increase your, get promoted in your job. I tell my participants this: Excel is the easiest way for you to be a superstar. No doubt. It's the easiest way. You don't know how easy it makes it is for you, but how fantastic it feels to other people when you do simple things like VLOOKUP, count if, sum if, just those simple things, not to talk of creating financial dashboards, not to talk of looking at financial data from being able to. So I remember there was first, before I learned about about data analytics years back, when I was in consulting, right? When I want to do financial performance review, I'll have to go online and start typing it one by one, the years and the line items one by one in my Excel to do it. But the moment I learned Power Query, where I just type one or two things and it literally connects my Excel to the annual report. Little things like that make you stand out, and that is what we are here for. So like Efi and Adeza have said, the program is problem solving, because it's not just being able to utilize the tools, about being able to solve problems. Nobody is going to take you serious when you're always pointing out problems, but being a solution provider. And in order for you to be a solution provider, you must know the techniques to evaluate that problem and provide solutions, provide recommendations to your management team, to your senior colleagues, right? That's what will make you be relevant, right? And we look at Excel. Some of us will say, oh, whenever I start Excel class, I'm like, okay, what's your proficiency in Excel? People will say, oh, Nene, I'm a 7, Nene, I'm a 5, Nene, I'm a this, Nene, I'm a that. After the first 3 classes, like, Nene, let me tell you the truth, I'm a -5. Right? So we are going to take you from the basic, to intermediate professional. So you're going to be very good. And it's a guided class. I saw some people in the chat room say, oh, how's the class going to be like? I know it's a guided class. We believe in experiential learning, not just that we teach you, but you also practice what we do in class. We have assignments. We have a classroom system that we operate in Tenalytics, where you have access to all materials. All classes are recorded. You have access to recordings. We also provide watch me do videos. So anything to help you in this transitioning journey. So everything you need, Tenalytics has provided it for you. So we have designed a carefully taught program, carefully taught program curriculum to help you to transit from where you are to where you want to be. I'm here to answer any questions on financial analytics. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Yeah, so I think the major thing that we would say here is, so if you're in a financial space and you really don't want to leave finance, but you want to be in the tech space of finance, so there's something we call quantitative analysts, we call, financial analysts, and so much more. And you want to be in that financial space, all right? That program is designed for you. So you learn financial analytics, you learn financial modeling, you know how to build financial models from scratch. Okay, you know how to build financial models, you know how to build financial metrics, financial dashboards, and so much more, like exactly what Nene has spoken about. Now, we also have HR Analytics, which is designed for HR professionals. We have the advanced. So if you have learned or you have a little bit of experience with, how to build models and so much more, even with HR, All right, we have an advanced HR and financial training, financial analytics, advanced financial analytics, and advanced HR analytics training program that is designed for you to learn machine learning, statistics, and predictive analytics in the financial and HR workspace itself. So all these training programs are designed solely, for you to get a job. All right, easy to learn. Trust me, we have experts, all right, within the team that would work with you in order for you to learn and also easy for you to transition. All right. Thank you very much for that, Nene. So let's now talk to our alumni that has gone through the training programs. All right. I'll be calling on Ubong. So Ubong, are you there? Ubong Joseph.
All right. Ubong Joseph, please, can you come up?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Ubong, how are you doing today?
Good. Yeah, good day. Good day. Adiza and Femina.
Yeah, good day. How are you doing?
Yeah, good day.
So, yes, I'll leave it over to you to speak about your experience, and how you got to where you are right now.
Okay. Thank you. Once again, happy holidays, everybody. My name is Ubong Joseph. I joined Analytics last year, 2021, at the peak of the COVID lockdown. Sorry, can you hear me, please?
Perfectly, yes.
Yeah, sorry. So I joined Analytics last year during lockdown. I had come to UK during the lockdown, and I had looked out for, where I could get world-class training. Having come at that time, the country was virtually quiet, So I took out time to learn, to acquire skills that will make me marketable in the UK. And I came across Analytics last year, and for me it was the best thing to happen to me. One, not for just for the fact that their trainings, I'd had some experience with other trainers in the UK, both foreign and local trainers, and they weren't, for their pricing, they weren't ready to give me the kind of experience I wanted. So I got on the program with Analytics for the data analyst UK cohort training, and that was in November last year. The whole of my Christmas last year, I took out time to reinforce all what was taught during the training program between November and December. And by January 2022 this year, I went through the CV review session. By February 2022, I was getting calls, I was getting job interviews just after the CV reviews were done. And I wanted to acquire more competencies in the data spectrum. So I also enrolled for the data science full stack program. And when IFEMA gave us an assignment, there was an assignment they gave us to do a predictive analysis, just an assignment I was doing, and he asked me to post it on LinkedIn. Within 48 hours, I had over 900. People were making comments. The feedback was massive. I got recruiters coming after me all on LinkedIn. This was just, I have not finished my full science full stack program, but I had completed my data analytics program. I had done the capstone project. I started getting job offers just after the LinkedIn reviews. And today I'm with Cognizant. Now, I want to encourage everyone that the training you get from analytics is not just textbook training, it's a job market ready training. It's world-class training. I recall the recruiter told me they had over 200 CVs on their desk, and they had pulled it down to 12. And from 12, they were taking just 2. And he told me, Mr. Obong, you are just one of the two we have picked out of 200. You know, that should be the quality of I mean, the value I've gotten from analytics. I mean, and today I'm with Cognizant in UK as a data analyst, and I want to encourage everyone on this call to just know what you want and go for it. Adeza, Femina, and the entire team, I mean, they've made, I think your learning curve is going to be very, very short because you are going to be handheld, and then it's not just textbook training. You are learning from, I mean, people who are the best in their own space, and those value added services like CV reviews will do for you and LinkedIn reviews are normally paid services elsewhere. I mean, but you get it for free, and for me that even the instrumental payment plan is very unique. You know, they tell you pay this amount, join up and pay. It's not done here in the UK. It's not done. You know? So I'm happy I went through analytics, and I also applied myself to learning. And please take every value from the classes, the Q&A, the capstone project, take everything together. Everything counts.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, Adeza. Thank you. Thank you, analytics.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Ubong. Thanks a lot for that. Ubong is a very, very smart and very, very, I would say, dedicated professional. Okay, joined us, did a training program, and now currently works as a data analyst with Cognizant. Okay, which is one of the largest, consulting firm here in the UK. So, and that's what we're trying to tell you, that when you look at yourself, what's your career projection for next year? What do you want to achieve? What salary scale are you looking at achieving next year? All right. And that is where, the training comes in. So he mentioned something that was very sacrosanct, and I will try to reiterate. And that's basically on the aspect of, learning the skills is good. Yeah, fine and good. But how do you present yourself? How do you speak to recruiters? How do you demand for what you want, and so much more? How do you prepare for interviews? How do you secure the job, essentially? All right. It's good to learn the skills, but if you don't have the soft skill to back up your hard skill, it's likely not going to work. It's likely not going to work. And if you've taken any training program, you can always upskill. Now, the reasons why, you see Ubong here, gets an high-paying job, he did it data analytics, all right, invested in himself, did the data analytics, and moved on to do the data science. So he did it, one after the other, not concurrently. He did it, consecutively. After the first one, he went to do the data science program. And now, I don't think if you get the salary, or if you get the financial compensation and so much more, you look at it as the amount invested in training, it's not commensurate to what he earns at the moment. So when people are talking about investing, Bitcoin, invest in this, invest in that, nobody talks about investing in yourself, because essentially when you invest in training, you invest in that skill set itself, you get that financial reward at the end of it. All right. And that's what we're trying to push. Okay. To say that you can learn these things, easy to learn, easy to transition, and easy for you to get a job. All right. So yeah, thanks a lot, Ubong, for coming on the call. I would also yes, it's good to see you again. Yeah, hopefully we'll get to meet one day.
Thank you, boss. Thank you very much.
I appreciate your time. Thanks. Also we have Wakilu, also works as a data analyst with Accenture. So if Wakilu is on the call, Wakilu, yes, how are you doing today?
Yeah, good evening. I'm doing good, Femina.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Very good also.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wakilu Oloyade. Now, currently, I'm a data analyst at Accenture. So actually, I worked as an IT support officer for years before I decided to join the League of New Oil. Hope you guys understand that. What I mean by that is that, if you don't know before, data is the League of New Oil. It's the new oil. Yeah, if you don't know. Understand. Though, yeah, I don't know anything about data before. I don't know anything. As in, Though I know essay, I know there's something that they call essay, but I don't know how to use essay. I know they call something Python, but I don't know how to use Python. But I tried to make some researches and I saw Tenalytics advertisement on Facebook. Though I clicked the link and I joined the WhatsApp group. After that, I attended the master class. And from there, the journey started. And I discovered that things that I can't do on my own, years back, within 3-4 months, I'm able to do it. Though I actually work on my own. So if Femina can testify to that, can call you anytime, 3 a.m., anytime. I don't know. I don't sleep. During that process, I don't sleep because I've already made up my mind that this is what I want to do. I know I've been working somewhere already. So before you can get that, you need to work very, very hard so that you can live where you are and move forward. So after some months, I discovered that I can, on my own, I can start and say that, oh, I'm confidently working with Excel as a data analyst. I'm confidently working with Power BI. You know, I did full stack data science. So I have idea. I have idea on Power BI, Excel, Tableau, SQL, Python, machine learning, computer vision, everything. All those things I have idea. I have basic, even till now I have basic because I'm still going to work on something so that I can earn something big 2023 this coming year. Understand? And the thing is that after 3 to 4 months, I attended one interview. It's based on data analysis, basically on Excel and little Power BI. But when I reached there and I gave my CV to that man, when the man opened the CV and see those keys, the man said, you know this, you know, it's only based on Excel. But when the man saw SQL, you know this, I said yes. You know this, I said yes. You know Python, I said yes. You know machine learning, I said I trained model. Confidently, I said I trained model. And the man was like, and unfortunately for that man, the man did not know anything about those things. He's only worked with Excel. So the man said, okay, you know what? I need to move you to one of my colleagues so that they can ask you some questions based on these skills. And those guys asked me some questions related to those skills, and I really tried my best. And you know, that's not the main interview. It's sub-interview of interview. You know, when they saw those skills, they know, okay, let's ask him, maybe he really know what he's doing. And from there, I moved back to my normal interview, and I did well. I did my best. So, and from there, I joined this careers. This data career is not up to 7 months. It's not up to 7 months, to be sincere. If you are on this call and you have it in mind that you don't know how to move about, you don't know how to go about it, my dear brother and sister, if you are here, Tenalytics for you. You can achieve this thing within 3 months. You can achieve it. Though you will really work on your own too, but Tenalytics will guide you. They will give you the roadmap. You know, when you're talking about data, data is something that you can enter YouTube and search data scientist course with Python, full data scientist analytics course with Power BI. You will watch the video. As you are watching, another video will come up, you watch it. As you are watching, another video will come up, you watch it. You can go to online, you can earn certificate and packages. You can go to Udacity, Udemy, AWS, Amazon, Arinsin. You can go anywhere and earn their certificate. But there is something that you can't learn. You can't achieve it online. It's what? It's mentorship. If you don't have it in data, you don't have anything, my brother. Because you'll be doing it. You don't know what you're doing. You just be doing it. For 6 years, you won't achieve anything. But if you have someone that is guiding you, okay, this is what you will do now, this is what you will do now, this is what you do next. My dear brother, you will achieve that thing that you cannot achieve in 6 years. You achieve it in 3 months. You will just achieve it. With the help of Tenalytics, Femina, and some other facilitators, I am able to achieve a lot. Though Femina really tried for me because I do call him anytime. Even now, if I want to call Femina, I have something that I want to ask, I will still call him. Femina, I used to call him, and there is one guy, one facilitator like that is one Obina. We do call, even anytime, any day. If I message him now on WhatsApp, even if I message him now, says, oh, my message dropped, straight up is call, because I know you know reply me on time, but if I call, he will pick. So I will call. And the thing is that there's another thing that, you know, let me tell you this. You know, before I was using rubbish CV, to be sincere with you guys. My CV and my LinkedIn profile was rubbish. But I don't know, because this CV, what's it called? This LinkedIn, I have more than 1,000 connections. So you think I think I have something good, whereas I don't have anything until I attended this Tenalytics full stack data science course. I know that, oh, what was my date of birth doing in my CV? Imagine that. Maybe that's the reason why if I submit CV, I will not receive call, because they have this thing that they have already planned it. If this thing is in this CV, remove it. So you just filter out those errors. You just filter out. Maybe my CV was included. I don't know. So, and I discovered that after this interview, I can, after these courses rather, I can stand, even if you call me for anything, even if you wake me up now, okay, tomorrow morning you have interview with so company based on this role. I don't need to prepare anything. I have them because I've already worked on my own, and I have my portfolio, and I'm still building it because I want to earn something big. This 2023, I want to be in this country and be any hard currency, be spending in my local currency. You know what that means? You'll be any hard currency and spending your local currency. So if you are here, you are in the right place. Please, you are in the right place. It is very, very easy for us. And for me in particular, it's very, very easy. And nothing make it easier for me. If it's not for the help of Tenalytics, I really appreciate them very well. I can never forget Tenalytics for my life. So I really appreciate them. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Wakil. Wakil is, I would also say, has the same energy with Ubong. That's why we brought them into, to speak to you. And that's basically dedication to learning, because a lot of people say they want to transition, they want to get a job, they want to get a better life, they want to live a better life. But if you don't take that step yourself to say that dedicate, time and energy, yes, you can afford it, you can pay for it, but, dedicate your time and energy to actually achieve what you're looking for. I would say that's exactly what we are out here to do. And if you're outside the country or you are in Nigeria, like everybody has their own strategy. So Wakil wants to, earn foreign currency, back in Nigeria, and he just wants to earn in foreign currency and spend in local currency, which is perfect. So he also mentioned something that's very critical, which is mentorship. Now, learning things online can be very frustrating, absolutely frustrating. I learn things online. I've also tried learning things online. And I'll tell you for a fact that anytime there's a place where I can learn things in a structured manner, I usually pay my money for it, because it's easy for you to, reach out to the facilitators, reach out to the person in there to ask critical questions. How do I do this? Why am I doing this? All right. Rather than you just watching a guy on YouTube that you don't even understand, you don't understand the process he has taken. You don't know why he's taking that method or why he's using a particular technique. You don't know. So that's why we have designed and we've created this training program to ensure that you learn, easy to learn, make sure that it's easy for you to learn, easy for you to transition, and easy for you to get that high-paying job that you're looking for. All right. So thanks a lot. And I don't know, Ebube, we didn't yet get to hear from Ebube, but Ebube just shared a very wonderful, testimonial in the chat section. So thanks a lot, Ebube, for that. He has not completed the training program and eventually he currently works as a information analyst with the NHS. Okay. And basically it's based on the Excel skill you gathered from, second week of the training program. So we're not telling you, we're basically saying that you can actually get a job, not just any kind of job, a high-paying sponsorship job or whatever kind of job that you're looking for. You can get it just by investing in yourself. Not even the training program, invest in yourself, okay? So, Adeza, I don't know if you want to add a thing or two. Or
Yeah, just to add to that, very interesting, Wakilu, very fantastic, submission and story. Wakilu just, gave us his story and how he has gone through the program and how the program helped him. And of course, Efemena also playing a key role to helping Wakilu. Ebube shared a story, her own story on the chat. I don't know if you saw that, getting a job with the NHS. And I'll tell you for a fact, the NHS has been one of the organizations that have recruited the most number of participants that has gone through Tenalytics. Okay, so for those of you in the health sector, depending on what you do currently, we had a participant that was doing care. She was a student. While she was studying, doing her master's, she was also, she also registered for our training program, the Data Analytics Career Skill Incubator. And at the end of the program, she applied to the NHS and one thing I've noticed from all the interviews for people that apply to the NHS is you're assessed in Excel. That's number one. Number two, because of the fact that the questions are in Excel, they are a lot similar. They are a lot alike. The one that was the interview that happened last year, the ones that happened this year, they all appeared the same or similar, not exactly the same, obviously, because you had different roles. But we were able to leverage the past questions, had the interview. Oh, this is how you need to prepare. Go and solve this case study. Go and solve this problem and take that into the interview. And they all did that and they got jobs with the NHS. I'm so happy about your story, Ebube. I had another interview session with a gentleman in Nigeria. He applied from Nigeria. It's a remote role for a procurement analyst with the NHS as well. Okay, so he's going to be working from Nigeria with the NHS here in the UK as a procurement analyst. And the majority of his role would involve him using Excel. All right, now, and this is the point. Wakilu has come, he has made his story. Ubong has also told his story, and they've shared what they've been able to do. And like I said, most of the time, you'd see there are a lot of free things all over the place and very, very, very much unstructured. So you do this here, you do that there, and you keep on learning forever. And that, I saw a question in the chat as well. Oh, can I do this within 3 months? Can I do it in 2 months? Can I learn in 2 months, do my internship in 1 month, and get a job? And the answer is absolutely yes. Why do you have to learn forever? Or how long do you think you need to learn for to get that job? So what we do is we prepare you all the things you need to know to become a data analyst. We teach you those things. You work on case studies, you build a portfolio, you've worked on several projects. At the end of your training, you get to work on a capstone project. And at the end of your capstone project, you get a certificate, and then you move into the growth internship for 1 month. By the time you are done with the internship, you've worked on all the projects. You'd have had a toolkit, a portfolio of at least 8 projects. So when you get into that interview, you're able to have a conversation with the recruiters. You're able to talk about all the things you've done because data analytics, data science is highly skill-based. What have you done? What can you do? Can you show us? Those are the kind of questions and those are the kind of assessments you'll be seeing. And at the end of the day, the goal is to what? Is to get a job where you can work remotely. If you have to go to the office, you go to the office maybe 2-3 times in a week, and then it's a hybrid, approach and so on and so forth. So depending on your situation, depending on what exactly you want to do, like Wakilu said, it all depends on you. What exactly do you want to do? Which program do you want to take? The data analytics, the data science, the business analysis. Francis has given us detailed insights into the things you'll be learning in business analysis, from requirement gathering to stakeholder management and so on and so forth. All right. I think I'm going to start taking questions. I've taken a couple of questions and I'll start answering them one by one. The internship itself is not weekends only. The internship is, it happens at the end of the program. You have 1 month to work on projects. So it's a project-based internship. All right, so you get projects, you work on the projects and you submit. You get a project review of all the things you've done. So an expert would come to show you what you could have done better, how you solve the problem, or the best approach to solving that particular problem. All right. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can. And for the questions that would require me bringing in Francis, bringing in Nene, if they're still on the call, we would all take their questions. Okay. Somebody's saying, as a teacher, I want to transition into the tech space, data analytics. I have no idea whatsoever. With this training, will I be able to? And the answer is absolutely yes. We've had all sorts of career paths join this program, from teachers to bakers to lawyers to students to just recent graduates, accountants, across the whole job spectrum, whatever you can think of. They've joined our training program. Medical doctors, a neurosurgeon joined our program at a point. And at the end of the day, they were able to transition. Like we always say, that's the goal eventually. You're currently doing something, you want to transition, or you don't even have a job, but you want to get a job as a data analyst. Is it possible? The answer is absolutely yes. These are skills that can be learned. These are skills that you learn, you put them into practice, you're going to work on projects, you solve those projects, and at the end of the day, you'd apply all the skills you've learned in class in addition to your CV, your LinkedIn optimization to eventually help you land that role. Okay, so I'm going to take the next question, which is, sorry, if I make payment today, what's the total amount I'll be paying? I believe that question must have been answered. You have the screen on the slide at the moment, so you can easily get that answered by looking at the breakdown as well. Okay, so once you make the first payment, the next payment is 1 month after the program starts. So the program starts on the 21st of January, 2023. 1 month after that is on the 21st of February, 2023. And that's when you need to make the second payment. Okay, but you have the breakdown on the screen. If you look at the screen, you'd see the breakdown. We will learn enough to, okay, that was somebody just making a point. Is there job guarantee immediately after the program? Okay, I won't answer yes to that because we are not the owners of the company. So we can't say yes, immediately after the program, you're going to get a job. Okay, but what we would assure you, we're going to be very realistic with you. Okay, all the things you need to apply and get an opportunity to interview with that company would provide you with them. All the things you need to become a data analyst, a data scientist, a business analyst, and so on and so forth, a HR analytics expert, a financial analyst, and so on, would prepare you for that. Okay, you have interviews, we prepare you for the interviews. But then again, you also have your own role to play, which is you need to attend classes. Yes, some of you are busy professionals. You currently have jobs that you do. Wakilu also mentioned he already worked as an IT support staff, but then he needed to transition. So the question is, how do you transition? It also requires some level of commitment from you. Okay, I want to become a data analyst. I want to move from being a teacher to a data analyst, from a medical doctor to data analytics, from a pharmacist to a data scientist, and so on and so forth. Okay, as long as you put in the work and as long as you apply to jobs, because that's another very surprising area for me. I find it very confusing. You've paid a lot of money for training, you've completed your training program, but then applying for the job, you are a bit too lazy to apply for jobs. No job would come to you if you don't actually take the step to apply to those jobs, apply to those roles, all right? So as long as you apply, as long as you get the program completed, you work on your project, you do everything, it's a 100% guarantee that you'll get a job. The jobs are available. There is a shortage in terms of jobs in the data space. Between now and 2030, you have a shortage of about 30,000 roles that needs to be filled. And the UK university churns out just about 10,000 graduates every year. And you have a shortage of 30,000 on a yearly basis. There's a gap that needs to be filled. And that's why you see organizations going all the way to Nigeria to recruiting people remotely and so on and so forth. So if those opportunities are available, how can you also take advantage of those opportunities? All right. So I guess that answers that question. This course, okay, what if I want to choose business analysis path and still want to learn Python? Okay, so there's nothing wrong about that if you want to go into business analysis and also learn Python, but would advise you to do what? Take it a step at a time. Don't bombard yourself with too much. Don't overwhelm yourself with too much, all right? You want to do business analysis, complete your business analysis, all right? And afterwards, you can start talking about Python, okay? But combining everything at once together can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if you are new within that space, okay? So just like Ubong that came and he spoke, Ubong works with Cognizant, and it was a bit, I would say, conservative to tell you his status currently, all right? I want you at the end of this session to Google Cognizant. It's one of the biggest consulting firms here in the UK. And what Ubong did was very simple. Yes, he had completed one of the programs, and afterwards, he registered for another one. Okay, so combining the two would have been, I would say, a little bit too difficult for him to achieve anything. He would have likely gotten overwhelmed and drop it and say, look, this is too difficult. I can't go on with this. So my advice is do business analysis. Then afterwards, you can learn, you can go into the full stack data science and complete the Python program and so on and so forth. Okay, these will be taught in 2 months. So the structure of the program, like we said, is for 2 months, you have your live classes. You have a Zoom session just like this. Somebody like myself would be teaching you concepts, showing you how to do stuff. You'll be learning, and you have the opportunity to ask questions, and all the classes are recorded. So at the end of the day, you don't miss out on anything. So take, for example, you're a student. On a Saturday, you have a group coursework you need to complete to be submitted the following week. So on that Saturday, you can't, you'd find it difficult joining the live class. All the classes are recorded. So at the end of every class, you get the recording sent to you. So you can relive the whole experience, the interaction in the class, the questions people asked, and so on and so forth. Okay. It's always very interesting to me that people that know nothing about a particular program, you don't know anything data analytics or data science, but you feel that 2 months or 3 months might be too short to get into this. And my question is, how long do you want to learn? Do you want to learn for a whole year? Do you want to learn for 2 years before you eventually start applying to jobs? Our approach is very realistic and very strategic. Number one, learn, know what you need to know, get a job. On the job, you keep on learning, and then you keep on transitioning, you keep on moving to higher roles, and so on and so forth. You don't learn forever. A lot of people get stuck in that trap of learning and learning and learning forever. Okay, so you learn, you get a job, you keep on learning, you get another job, you keep on learning, you get promoted, and that's what we always preach, and that's what we always advise. All right. Like Ifemena had mentioned while he was giving his presentation, all the trainings are designed to make the sessions very practical, where you apply all the skills. You've heard from Wakilu. He has told you how he has been able to, gain all the things he gained and eventually landed a job with Accenture. Accenture is one of the biggest IT consulting firms across the globe, not in Africa, not in the UK, across the globe. Accenture is one of the biggest, but he still wants more. Okay. So more questions. I'm in the legal field and I'm doing my master's in London. How is this course going to help me? Okay. Nene mentioned something that was very crucial, which is the skills you have at the end of the day is what sets you apart. Okay. So yes, you are a lawyer. How can you speak the language of technology in law, for example? I had a cousin who is now in the US, and what she does is to provide legal services to only organizations in the tech space. That's what she does. And she was able to leverage understanding and leverage knowledge from tech, from Tenalytics, and then she provides those services in the US only to companies within the Silicon Valley. And she's doing very well for herself. Okay, so the more skills you have, the more you improve your toolkits, the more access and opportunities you get at the end of the day. Okay, I think I'll just hand over some of the questions to Ife. I don't know if let me see. Please, are you sure the team will cover up all these? I think I've answered that question. The structure of the program for 2 months, weekends, that's when you have your programs. You have your programs on Saturdays, you have the live class with the facilitator. You can ask your questions, you solve case studies together. And on Sunday, you have Watch Me Do It sessions where you are able to have a self-paced learning ahead of the next class on Saturday. So it's a project-based, 100% project-based sessions on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. UK time. And if you're in Canada as well, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Canadian Toronto time, irrespective of where you are, is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. your time. That's when the sessions hold. Can I have a placement with your company? I'm currently studying data analytics. Absolutely, you can work for us. A lot of our participants have been able to double as both participants and also as employees. And how that's, also helped them in their career journey is they were able to leverage and use Tenalytics as, as an employer that they worked for. Of course, it's not a paid employment. They were able to leverage on that to say, within 3 months, I worked with Tenalytics and I was able to achieve this. I did this using Excel. I did this using Python, and I was able to build these models. I was able to create dashboards and so on and so forth. And eventually what happens is those organizations will reach out to us. The NHS would reach out to us or send us emails. Oh, this gentleman or lady has applied to a role in our organization. Can you confirm that she worked on this project? Can you tell us what she did and what he did and so on and so forth, which we would happily and gladly provide to any organization that reaches out to us, which they always do. The NHS has reached out to us several times, and so many other organizations, both in Canada, in Nigeria, and also here in the UK. Okay. Can a BA be a Scrum Master? I don't know if that question has been answered yet. Can a BA be a Scrum Master? And
it has been answered, sir.
Okay, yeah, that's been answered. Thank you very much. Okay, after data science with Tenalytics, is there a professional exam to write before you start applying for a job? You don't need to write any exam to apply to any job as a data scientist. And I'll leave Ife to answer that question and take that question. Ife, have you had to write professional exams as a data scientist to land jobs as a data scientist and so on? Please, can you answer that question?
Absolutely not. So even just to provide some form of context in the sense that I know quite a number of people have been asking questions around the fact that, what is the difference between the MSc in data science or data analytics, the difference between MSc in data and and the training program that we are offering. Now, there's a significant difference in all these things, okay? And first thing I'll tell you is there is no certification in the data space that will guarantee you any job. No certification. Even if you have a master's, it doesn't guarantee you a job. Now, the reason why I'm saying this, I actually learned the hard way, okay? Because I did my master's in data analytics back in Ireland. And I was thinking that, because I have a master's in data analytics, this would give me a upper hand in the market, in the job market, to say that, I have a master's in data analytics, I would likely get employed. But I was stunned when there was no job in the first 3 months of me finishing my master's. So, and that's the reason why we have designed this training program, to help you to build your experience, okay, in data analytics, in data science, in data engineering, Power Platform developer, in all the training programs that we have listed out that you can see at the moment. We have designed it in a way that you are gaining experience. You are not just learning. You're not just learning theory. You're learning practical, hands-on experience. You're working on projects on a weekly basis, all right? And that's really what sets you apart. The industry currently is a skill-based industry. It's not based on certification. It's not based on education, all right? We have people that don't even have, degrees and that they're working as data analysts in the organizations. I've been privy to work with quite a number of organizations. And you see, British, what do you call them, employees within the organizations that barely even have secondary school certificates, but they're working as data analysts, they're working as business analysts, they're working as financial analysts within the organization. Now, what do you think, what would you presume, is the reason for that? It's basically because of the fact that the economy, whatever you have as a mindset back in Nigeria, where the HR professional is asking you for your primary school leaving certificates, is asking you for your NY, it doesn't apply outside the country. And that's why you see a lot of foreign companies are recruiting from Africa. all right, from Kenya, from Nigeria, from, majorly Nigeria at the moment. There's quite a number of, pressure on the workforce in Nigeria. If you even know that they're recruiting for data analysts, they're recruiting medical professionals, teachers, why do you think they're doing this? If you need certificates, why are they coming to Nigeria to get these employees? All right. So there's no certification. You don't need anybody that tells you you need a Google certificate, you need a Microsoft something certificate. It's all a way to just get your money without you even getting any experience. All right. So this training program is what we call experiential learning. You're learning from experience. You're building your experience. And that is what a potential employer is looking to hear from you. How have you been able to use Python to solve a problem in your previous experience? How have you been able to use Excel? Have you been able to use Power BI, Tableau to do predictions, to do whatever you want to do? How have you done it? So we have people that are getting jobs, internships across the world, and basically it's based on the projects they worked on in class, not just because they know Python, but based on what they have done with Python. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that. And I don't know if there's any other question regarding. So you don't need certification. Long story short, you don't need it. And so I can say a question here that went directly to me was the difference between data analytics and data science. Now, the key difference between the two things is, in analytics, there are 4 types of analytics. We have descriptive, we have diagnostics, we have predictive, and prescriptive analytics. So those are the 4 types of analytics. Now, a data analyst will measure on 2 areas, which is descriptive and diagnostics analytics. A data scientist, on the other hand, will measure on descriptive, diagnostics, and predictive analytics. So data science, you'll be doing more of predictions, okay? You'll be doing more of predictive analytics, all right? So take, for example, you work in an organization that's probably, say, somewhere like Jumia, all right? So how do Jumia ensures that they deliver products efficiently and effectively? So if they say that, a particular parcel is going to get to you in 2 days, in 3 days, there's a form of calculations, a form of predictions they would have done to ensure that at that particular time they say that parcel will be delivered, it will be delivered. Do you understand? So that's a form of prediction. So if you're working in a bank and you want to predict fraudulent transactions, that is predictive analytics. If you want to predict, when, everybody is leaving the country, there's this, jackpot, everybody is leaving the country and all. As an HR professional, how do you predict who is likely going to leave the organization? That's predictions. So a data scientist, will focus more on predictions, all right, than a data analyst. Also, there's something we call structured data and unstructured data. Now, unstructured data basically is any kind of data you cannot put in rows and columns. So if you look at the data in the real sense of it, okay? So when you look at data, structured data is anything that is arranged in rows and columns. So you have column 1, column 2, column A, B, C, D, all the way to the end, and you have different rows within the data. That is what we call a structured data. So if you pull up an Excel sheet and you see it's in columns and it's in rows, that's what we call a structured data, all right? Now, unstructured data basically are data that cannot fit into rows and columns, okay? Take, for example, a picture. How do you fit a picture into rows and columns? An audio file, a music video, how do you put it in rows and columns? That's essentially what we call unstructured data, okay? So a data scientist will be working with unstructured data, and that's why we have a specialization on computer vision, where you get to work on, when you get to work on projects on computer vision and stuff like that. I want you guys to check out Wakilu's. He came on the call. Check his LinkedIn page. All right, he has built quite a number of projects on, computer vision. I want you to just go to his page, have a look at what the projects he has worked on, having completed the training program in analytics. Those are the kind of projects that you would work on also, working as a data scientist. So those are the major distinctions between a data analyst and a data scientist. So a data scientist is majorly going to be working with more predictions, predictive analytics, and working with both structured data and unstructured. So those are the major distinctions between the two of them, all right? So I think that's just about it. Is there any other question that can...
Yeah, there are more questions here. Somebody's saying that having a project management background and training, is data analytics the right route to data engineering?
Okay. All right. Project management. Project management is obviously a very good skill, no doubt about that. But in terms of career projection, I would say if your endpoint is data engineering, I would say you can actually just do data engineering without even having any data analytics experience, because as a data engineer, you're not building dashboards, you're not building any form of reports, you're not doing anything reporting. All you're doing is ensuring the data is available, okay, for the data analyst, the data scientist, and it's optimized in a way that at every point in time, the data is refreshed, is available for people across the organization. Now, I like to use this analogy for data engineers, okay? So engineers basically are like what we call plumbers in the real sense of it. So if you have, even like, let's take, for example, the oil and gas. Nigeria, if you know oil and gas, you will obviously understand what I'm talking about. So the oil is probably, you have the oil field, okay, and you have the refinery in some place, in another place. So you have a pipe that does what? That takes the oil, the raw oil from the oil well, and it transports it into the refinery or into a tank somewhere that is being used for exporting. Now, without the pipe, how do you get the raw material from the well to the refinery? Do you understand? Without that pipe, it's impossible. It's very difficult for you to move the oil from the oil well to the refinery, okay? So basically, a data engineer's job is just building that pipeline, okay? Ensuring there's a pipeline from where the data is stored. Now, organizations have what we call transactional database. Transactional database basically is they are using it on a day-to-day basis. So if you look at the likes of Jumia, you're looking at the likes of ShopRite, you're looking at the likes any organization, banks, okay? You're sending money every day, you're receiving money, you are going to the cash, you're transferring money, whatever transaction you're doing on a daily basis is recorded in a transactional database within the bank. Now, obviously, a data analyst, a data scientist would not be able to get data from this transactional database. It's just going to be large. It's going to be large and messy and, just contain a lot of data, okay? So a data engineer's job, okay, is to look at that transactional database that has all the munch of data, that has the lot of data, okay, that has all the data, all right, and builds what we call a data pipeline. Now, there is an optimized data warehouse that exists that will be designed by the data engineer also, all right? So all the job of the data engineer is take data from that transactional database that stores everything and move it effectively also into an optimized warehouse. Now that warehouse that is being created, okay, is where the data analyst would connect Power BI, Tableau, and all the tools that they want to use. The data scientist also can connect to that optimized warehouse. So rather than connecting to that dirty transactional database, you have an optimized data warehouse that is being optimized for reporting purposes. So that's basically engineering. So you really don't need any experience in data analytics to get started in data engineering. It's a field that, honestly speaking, is from heaven because it's rewarding in terms of every aspect of it, all right? And anybody that is looking to start a career, all right, and you don't need mathematics, you don't need statistics, you don't want to learn statistics, you don't want to learn mathematics, data engineering is actually still good for you, but you learn programming, all right? Which you will see that learning programming is one of the easiest things you can learn, all right? Once you have a good tutor, and that's what we specialize in to ensure that you can learn it. Everybody here has spoken about data science, how you're using Python for predictions and stuff like that. All these people had zero experience with using Python for a start. And I'll tell you for free that once you register for the training program or even go to our YouTube channel, all right, you'll see a full stack data science masterclass. Just have a look at the masterclass and see how we teach Python and tell me if you would not understand, all right? So if you don't want mathematics, statistics, but you would like programming, you want that rewarding career, data engineering is also for you. So you really don't need any background to get started in data engineering, all right? So I hope that answers the question.
Thank you very much for that, Ife. So somebody is also asking, I want to work strictly on preparing I want to work strictly on preparing and analyzing data. What do you advise me to choose, the full stack data science or data engineering? I think if you just answer that question, so if you want to analyze data, you want to do some level of data preparation, data wrangling, exploratory data analysis, and so on, you'll be looking at the full stack data science as opposed to data engineering. So for the data engineering, what you'll be doing is simply to get the data from wherever, all the sources where you're gathering data from, and ensuring that the data is available, putting it in data warehouses, creating the data pipelines, and so on and so forth. So if you want to analyze data, you want to do exploratory data analysis, data preparation, data wrangling, then you're looking at the full stack data science. Somebody's also asking, I'm currently doing my MSc in the UK and my work is every weekend. Please, how can you be of help concerning the classes? So like we mentioned, the classes are live sessions just like the one we are having now, where you'd have a facilitator, you'd have a trainer that would take you through different concepts, and you have the opportunity to ask questions, you work on projects, you solve case studies, and so on and so forth. All the sessions are recorded, just like this session is recorded. Okay, so this session is recorded. It will be sent to you at the end of today's presentation. And you have the opportunity to go back and relive the experience, go back, start from the beginning, fast forward, rewind. You can clip out important areas, make notes, and so on and so forth. So you don't miss out on anything at the end of the day, okay? So if you work Saturdays, work during the weekend, perhaps you have to start work in the morning, later in the evening, if that's when you are free, at your own quiet time, when you get the recording, you can always go back, watch the recording. And if you have questions, you have a community where everybody who has registered for that program would be put in. You have a WhatsApp group, you have a Slack group as well, where you can ask questions, engage the facilitators, engage the trainers after watching the videos. And perhaps you have questions because you missed the class, you missed the live class, but then you have the recording. So you can watch that, ask questions in the chat, engage the facilitators if there's any aspect that is not very clear to you. Do data engineers need Excel? No, you don't. You don't need Excel as a data engineer because you would not be using Excel, to carry out your day-to-day activities. I'm just quickly going to go through the chat. And of course, if you want to also come up to ask questions, feel free to unmute yourself. Use the raise hand icon. We'll call you up to ask your questions and we can have a conversation. Okay. Okay. Let me see. What should we expect becoming a new business analyst during our first 6 months? I don't know if this question has been answered by Francis. I'm not sure Francis is still here. But as a business analyst, what you're expected to do, basically, your core responsibility is ensuring that all the processes required in an organization are optimized. Okay, so you're looking at the organization as a whole and helping them achieve their objectives by looking at their processes, and also for different things they want to implement or different projects they want to implement, gathering requirements from different departments, asking questions, gathering requirements, having a business requirement documentation, a BRD, stakeholder management, and interacting with the different stakeholders involved within that particular project. If you're working on a project, for example, all right, so as a business analyst, your role would hover around that space. And of course, for different organizations, it also depends on their own specific, their peculiarity. I worked for an organization where the first week I joined, I was thrown into a data warehouse project, and I was the lead in that project, for the department. So depending on the organization would also depend on the type of, how deep into the waters you are thrown into. All right. But generally, you'll be working, around projects like process optimization, gathering requirements for the business, engaging stakeholders, working on projects to ensure that the projects that will lead to business growth and the success of the business itself, you are a core part of that team and a core part of the process. Okay, we've run all our programs run every month. So we have all the programs for the new year starting on the 21st of January 2022, and February would have another one all the way till December. All right. But again, what I will say is take advantage of the discounts that we have. All the payments, all the fees you see on the screen are all discounted fees. All right. And for anybody who has joined our training program at the beginning of 2022, you would agree with me that the training fees are totally different in terms of the prices. The prices have gone up for several reasons. All the programs have been adequately enriched, and you have a more comprehensive, program to ensure that it caters for all the aspects that you need to get a job at the end of the day. So take advantage of the discounts that you have on the screen and make payments to join. Like I said, as soon as you make payment, just send us a message, and then a message on our WhatsApp group, and we'll send you a welcome kit. And on the 21st of January 2023, we'll be starting a journey with a group of data enthusiasts getting started in technology for the new year. All right. I'm not sure I have any other questions here. I don't think I have any other questions. Like I said, if you want to unmute yourself and speak to us, just use the raise hand icon, would allow you to unmute and you can ask your questions. Or you can simply just drop that in the chat. All right, okay.
All right, I think majority of the questions have been answered already. I only have just a few questions here. And you answered the data engineer question about Excel, which you don't need Excel to, get a job as a data engineer. You absolutely don't need it. All the things you need is SQL, Python, Airflow, which will be covering during and databases, okay, database architecture and so much more, which is covered during the training program. Okay. So you don't need any Excel, any Power BI, any of those things. You don't need it, all right, to get started in data engineering. So talking about, these have answered that. So does business analysts need Power BI and Excel? So one thing we've noticed in the industry at the moment is the increase in the skill set required for business analysts. Now, not all business analyst role will require you to have data analytics experience, but we play it safe by providing it for all our participants. So we are giving you both the analytics required for a business analyst and also the business core analysis, business analysis, requirement gathering, facilitation, Scrum, working with Jira, Confluence, and so much more. All right, working with all these tools. Okay, we provide both of them for you. So you're not just learning business analysis, you're learning a bit of data analytics using Excel, Power BI, and SQL for analytics. And you're also learning the core business analysis, which is designed with BCS, based on the BCS and IBA methodology and framework itself. So that's what we have done for the business analysis. So you learn everything. It's a 2 months intensive and immersive training program to get you into the space of business analysis. So yes, that's what we do for that. I think I've answered the majority of these other questions. So somebody's asking, I think if Nene is still on the call, somebody's asking a question around financial analytics. Please, could you teach valuation modeling and for both listed companies and startups? So I know they build models for startups. Nene, are you there?
Yeah, before Nene comes in, very good, important question I can see here in the chat by Florence. What's the difference between your data science and MSc data science? I'll tell you for a fact, your MSc data science would never get you a job. Even if you are studying in Cambridge, it would not get you a job. And that's simply because it is 100% theoretical, okay? And if you don't already have experience in data analytics prior to getting, into a master's program, an MSc program in data science, you're going to struggle a lot because you'd have a lot of things thrown at you and you'd have to catch up very, very fast, okay? So that's the difference. Our program is 100% practical and tailored to get you doing the job, solving problems when you get into an organization, using Python, using machine learning, building machine learning models, training models, and deploying those models to solve problems. All right. So what you get in your master's, your MSc in data science, is theoretical. Okay. And this is based on engagement and based on experience, and take it to the bank. Okay. Yes, Nene.
Okay. I don't know who asked that question, right? But basically, what we do is to teach you how to build a financial model from scratch. We're not going to just teach you how to do forecast adding 10% year-on-year growth. We're not doing that. We're going to teach you how to build a financial model from scratch, teach you how to develop, how to research on businesses, on understanding the business and operating model. So not only research, but conversations that you need to have with critical stakeholders within the firm. So it could be an existing firm, right? Or it could be a startup. So like the conversations you need to have to be able to build a relevant financial model, right? So we're going to teach you how to create a financial model. We're going to teach you the 3 major financial statements. We're also going to teach you valuation, right? So we discuss all aspects of valuation, but we focus more on the discounted cash flow valuation. However, we discuss all the valuation methods, and you develop we also do financial statement of analysis, horizontal, vertical, common size financial statements, ratios, as well as financial dashboard, scenario, sensitivity. When you look at scenario analysis, right? We're going to do all of that. Remember, the goal is to take you from 0 to intermediate professional, right? With the class, you are going to be able to build your own financial model. So just the same way data analytics cohorts and data science have their projects, financial analytics too has their projects, and our projects are tailored towards the finance space. So your projects will be towards developing financial models. So you're going to develop financial models for industries, and for industries, I think you're going to have a minimum of about 5 projects that you have to your belt. Because when you go for interviews, right? When you go for interviews, you're going to say, you're not going to just say, oh, you know how to prepare financial models. You're going to say, you have prepared financial models. You prepare financial models for this industry. And there's no how you develop a financial model from our class that you won't understand the business model, you won't understand the operating model. So that is what it's a holistic training. It's not just projections, 10%, 15%. We don't do that. From a blank Excel sheet to a fully fledged financial model with a financial dashboard. I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Nene. So I think Oluwatoyin has a question. So Oluwatoyin, I've asked you to unmute yourself. You can go ahead and ask your question, please.
Right. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for the detailed explanation. So I would like to ask, if I train as a data analyst now, is it possible to get jobs, not remote jobs now? Is it possible to get jobs in the UK, Canada, US, right from Nigeria here? So that's just my question. Thank you.
All right, very good question. Absolutely brilliant. So like I said, we had a session on Thursday where we had, I can't remember, what's his name now, if you please remind me. He actually works as a data analyst with an organization in the US and he's in Nigeria. We have a lot of participants that have gone through our training program and they work remotely as data scientists or data analysts. And the process is the same or similar to anybody else who is also trying to look for a full-time, on-site job, which is you look for those roles and you apply. But then again, the question is, for remote-based roles, you have different resources for them in terms of the specific websites that are tailored towards you actually getting those roles, okay? And those are some of the things we provide to you to tell you that, look, if what you want to achieve is to work from Nigeria, getting a job in the US, for example, getting a job remotely in the UK, these are the websites you should be looking at, or these are the resources you need to, take note of. But if your question, to answer your question directly, the answer is an absolute yes. Absolutely. It's as straightforward as you can think, as long as you have the skills. Organizations today, and that's one of the things that COVID kind of accelerated. It has accelerated the adoption of companies across the globe, accepting, a decentralized work model where employees work from different locations, across different regions. You don't have to be in the country to work as a data analyst or to work as a data scientist and so on. So it's absolutely achievable. Daniel, okay, I think we'll take about 3 more questions and then we'll wrap up. Go ahead, Daniel.
All right, okay, quick one. Like concerning what you said last about the remote, whatever. You said I wanted to ask that when you are drilling us for the interview questions and everything, are you going to ask us precisely what we want? Is it the remote job? Is it the hybrid or whatever I want? Like, are we going to narrow down what we want, or we just get whatever comes at us?
So, okay, when I was presenting, I mentioned about 5 different programs that we have in addition to the technical skills that you get to learn. Now, one of them is navigating the job market. All right. So navigating the job market is where we get from you what exactly you want to achieve. Okay. Are you relocating? Are you going for your master's? Are you going to be a student for a year? Are you, is your wife a student and you want to work full time? You want to secure a, sponsorship visa and so on and so forth, right? How do you apply to those roles? How do you ensure that you're able to apply to those roles? Which website should I be looking at, and so on and so forth? Now, we don't just leave it to that session. We also have weekly mentorship session where myself and Efemena would be on a call like this with over 200 people. Now, we come to that session to ask you, how far have you gone in your journey? You want to achieve this. Are you applying? If you've applied, are you getting calls? Are you getting, interview opportunities? If you are not, then there must be something wrong. Or if you've gone for an interview, you have questions you want to ask, we are there every Wednesday. We hold that session every evening. If you miss a Wednesday, you're likely not going to miss the next Wednesday. And we have that every single week where we take your questions, we help you answer those pressing questions that you have, or those things that you feel that, you might not be doing well, and we can intervene and give you guidance on what to do to, unlock, those difficult areas for you. Okay, so you have that avenue to solve that problem. Okay, so everybody has an objective for joining the program. At the end of the day, most of the time, it's either you want to transition. Okay, it's either you want to transition from your current role to another role, or you are getting started in tech. You want to move into tech. You've been doing something in the past. You want to move into tech. How can you get started in tech? Okay, so it's one of those two. And like you said, you want to work remotely. You don't want to leave Nigeria, but you want to, access opportunities, job opportunities across the globe. How can you also get that done? And that's why we are here to help you achieve those goals. Okay. All right, I think we'll take just one more question. It's been a very long day. Okay, no, we've taken Daniel's question already. So Joyce, you want to ask your question? Joyce, I've asked you to unmute yourself. You can unmute.
All right, thank you very much and good evening. Thanks for the wonderful time on this Zoom meeting. I just want to find out more about the Power Platform developer. I want to know how lucrative it is. I would have really loved to go for data engineering, but because of financial constraints, maybe I'll just have to start from somewhere. And I think the Power Platform developer is a good place to start. So I just want to know how lucrative it is before paying for it.
Okay. Well, depending on where you are. Okay, Ife, you want to go ahead, please?
Okay, yeah. So talking about the Power Platform, it's actually something that is being used by majority of the organizations at the moment, and it's actually still it's still early stages, but I can guarantee you in the next year it's going to be high in demand. And the reasons why Microsoft actually created Power Platform is because of the fact that they want non-technical people within the organization to be able to build their own application. So you have, in order for them to, let's say, for example, you work in, I don't know anywhere you work at the moment, and they want to build an application. Say you want to be able to build an application for customer service. So normally, in the real sense of it, they would go and buy a CRM tool, or they would, get a software developer that would build the application. But now, you having that Power Platform developer skill set, you can actually build an application for the organization using Power Platform, using what we call Power Apps to build such kind of applications. So you are a developer, you are the one building these applications for the organization. You are automating reports. Okay, so any kind of report that is being done on a daily basis manually, or I get my Excel file from somebody sends me an Excel file in the morning. Every morning I run my reports once in a day. Do you understand? Those kind of reports can be automated using Power Apps. So it's something that I do currently with the organization I work in. I also train people within the organization to know how to use it. All right, because it's an high in demand skill set required for people in the industry at the moment, because you can't be getting a software developer to develop everything within the organization. It's very expensive to get those kind of people, all right, to get software developers to come and build an application. Meanwhile, you can actually use Power App. You can use Power Automate to automate the process of how the data flows within the application itself. So yes, it's very lucrative. I don't know where you are, but looking at the UK, where I am at the moment, I know definitely without a doubt in my mind that salaries for Power Platform developers in the UK ranges between 60K and above, minimum. When I'm talking about minimum, like Power Platform developers is like 60K in terms of salary range itself. So yeah, it's very rewarding. Absolutely rewarding. Enough for you to get it. So yeah, Joyce, I think that answers your question. So if it's something that you're willing to start, then that's the right training program for you. So I know the time is far well spent. I don't know if. All right, so the time is far well spent. I know you guys have had a lot of questions. You have any other concern? I know the guys have been dropping the WhatsApp link for you to join the WhatsApp group. So if you have any other concern that you have to ask, you want to ask a question, follow us on social media, on our Instagram, Twitter. You can send us a DM. You can follow myself, Adeza, on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. If you have further questions or you need further clarification, you can always shoot us a message on any of the platform. All right. Even on Tenalytics, you can go to our platform on Tenalytics at Tenalytics, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. We are the same name on all those platforms, and you can, see this, you can send us a quick message. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for taking our time. This is supposed to be a 2-hour session, but I know you guys have learned one thing or the other, and we're looking forward to working with you next year to start your career, to transition your career into that tech space where you're looking out for. All right. Thank you very much for taking our time. And please note this, everybody sets plan. Okay. Everybody has a plan for the new year. Everybody sits down and reevaluates themselves to say that, what do I want to do next year? What do I want to achieve next year? How do I want to get a better life? How do I want to get a better pay? There is no how you want to get a better life without having a better pay, essentially. So how do you want to invest in yourself in the new year to achieve what you dream, what you dream, what's that career that you want to do? All right. The pay, the career, and we've shared, the average salary of all these jobs across different regions just to show you that it is possible for you to do this. And we've brought people from our alumni to actually speak to you. Even people that just, people that joined the session just because, and they still told you, from the guy from NHS, it wasn't planned. He actually just came in to share his own experience. And, that basically shows you the kind of things that we actually do. And they just said something at the start of the session. We have helped in the space of 2 years, almost 2 years or thereabouts, give or take. We've helped over 300 people, that we know of. All right. Like the person I met in POL, post office, the post office here in the UK, never told us. We don't even have that particular number, part of the 300. So we have people that have transitioned, unilaterally within the organization. So they were probably working in customer service within the organization, or they were working with whatever department, and they moved from that department into business intelligence or data analytics or data science. All right. So those people moved within some organization. Some people have moved out, to break and move to a new organization, in which those are the people that we brought on the call. But give or take, you can actually do these things by just investing in yourself, all right, and partnering with analytics to be your preferred training provider for the new year. All right. Thank you so much for taking our time. I would love to see every one of you in class if possible. So if you have any question, always feel free to send us a message. But on other notes, thank you very much, and have a good night. Adeza, I'll leave it to you to.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Like if I said, follow us on all our socials. We'll have these sessions across between now and the end of the year. So if you have questions we haven't answered, we'll have another session on Twitter. We'll have a Twitter space. We'll have other live sessions on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. So follow us on our socials. We look forward to seeing you, to partner with you. Let's win together going into 2023. Thank you for taking our time, and do have an amazing week ahead. Thank you very much, guys, and cheers.